Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and we got a special show on tap for everybody tuned in. If you don't already know, it's my birthday. Appreciate everyone that's tuning in today. We are a little bit early, and that's because my dad's in town, my family's in town, and we got some stuff planned for my birthday today. But you know what? We're still going to be getting into the latest Raiders news and rumors. We're going to talk about the NFL draft. I want to talk about Najee Harris because he was just linked to the silver and black recently. We're going to look at some interesting trade rumors are out there, but the three segments that are on tap for today's show, we will get into the latest around this team right here. Then I'm going to get into my best value free agents out there for the Raiders to target, because when everybody got the news yesterday that the salary cap was going to go up, it does help a team like the Raiders just simply because of all the holes that we have. But really, really good teams, and I've been saying this all offseason, look at a team like the Washington Commanders. They went out and they got themselves one or two big-name free agents, and then they filled a lot of their holes, giggity, with some of these best value type of players. If you're the Las Vegas Raiders, you're going to be able... Sorry, Jugs is handing me something underneath the table. If you're the Las Vegas Raiders, you need to be able to fill a lot of those holes, and you can do it in free agency, but you also have to spend money accordingly, right? Like, I don't want the Raiders to be the team that they were a few years ago. You remember the year where it was like Corey Littleton, Carl Nassib, Nick Kwiatkowski, and John Gruden was just making it rain with free agency money? That's not necessarily what I want. I want the Raiders to go out and get a few big-time dudes like a Christian Wilkins again, but then you got to be able to fill out a lot of these holes, and smart shopping is the way that we are going to do it. We got 350 people right now. I see Zalesbo rocking with me. What up, Jose? What up, Anthony Aguirre, Steven Gutierrez? And I mean it. I really, really appreciate every single person out there. So, news and rumors today, we're going to look at, this is now the best valued free agents. We are also going to get into a Raiders mailbag, and then it's going to be my birthday happy hour. Remember a few weeks ago we did a special show, it was Venthrak happy hour? I want to get through 3 Raiders cuts. Got it? I want to get through 3 Raiders cuts here in the next, let's say, 90 minutes. And then after the 90 minutes, because the way I really want to start doing Raiders Report shows is this. I don't want everybody to just think all we do is get crazy, we do stupid stuff, which, don't get me wrong, we definitely do that type of stuff. But I also know that there's a lot of parents that watch this show with their kid. And I'm going to tell all the parents out there that watch this show with their kid, you can have them watch it for the first 90 minutes. As soon as it turns into Mitch's happy hour, if you want to invite your kid into a bar, then I'm just telling you, it's probably not going to be the place for you. Also, we got a special guest today. My dad's going to be pulling up, and wait until you guys hear the deal that Chugs and I have. If you enjoyed our, I'll just say, Thursday night football shows.
Let's just say, if we hit a certain number, Mitch might get a brother.
That's a little outrageous. Let's just say this show might have something in common with Steve Aoki concerts. That's all I'm going to say out there.
A lot of babies are made at Steve Aoki's concerts.
You think? I mean, maybe. I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I've never been to a Steve. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. We did get to go to a Steve Aoki concert that one random time, didn't we?
I was lame and I was tired and I went to bed.
Oh, who was that? Marsh?
That was that Super Bowl with
you're right.
And Sam and James.
Yep, and Chase.
It was like at like.
It was super late.
Which I didn't know that's what they were doing.
One of our loyal Raiders Report watchers is like a high up at Zook, and he was like, yo, if you want to pull up.
It was 1 a.m., and we were just chilling, and I was like, dude, I'm really tired. I got to get ready for tomorrow. We had to be up at like 8 or 9 a.m. the next day. So I was like, I'm just going to go to bed. Like, they're just going to chill at the bar. Little did I know, literally 15 minutes after I left, they were like, we're going to a Steve Aoki concert. I had no clue.
Dude, it was crazy. Oh! Cruising! Bang! Here's the thing, and I will do this one, and this is the only beer bong that I'm going to do until happy hour, because I told myself if somebody gets a little bit wet and wild beforehand, I don't want to make them wait. So I'm telling all of y'all, this is the last beer that I am going to crack open until it is officially happy hour. Happy hour is going to be about 90 minutes from now. I will say this, if anybody out there bangs twice on today's show, you will get yourself a Raiders Report hat, because if you're going to support me, I want the people that support me on my birthday to also rock the Raiders Reports hat. So, Kill It Cruisin', you're an absolute legend. Now, man, happy birthday, you filthy animal. And for those that do not know, guess how old I am today? Because apparently I got a birthday cake today that says I'm 69. I don't know who ordered it. No idea, right? No idea.
No clue. Cruising, here you go. Let's start this frog show. Let's get this frog show started. If you and the wife soon-to-be want to go to Germany, let me know. I'll be over there in Wiesbaden, so you better go. You too, Chugs. Ooh, a little open invite.
I will tell you this. I am going to make a Germany trip probably in the next 5 years, though. The city that I'm going to take Alex to is Cologne. I don't know how close Cologne is to that. I know in general it's kind of easy to get around in Europe, but Cologne is a city that I that I lived 1 year in, but I grew up as a person, as a man. And if it wasn't for the whole year that I spent in Germany, real talk, I wouldn't do what I'm doing today. I do what I do today because I miss talking sports. I miss talking to my friends, my family about football, and on my bike ride to baseball practice, I would record myself talking about fantasy football. And I was like, dude, this is hella therapeutic. I wonder if other people would listen to me do it. But Cruising, from the bottom of my heart, dude, you know that Chugs and I rock with you. I appreciate this invite a lot. My only thing is, if we do end up showing up, you got to get me a candle. That's all I need. Now, man, what's going on, my man? He makes candles. He makes candles.
I was like,
You're like, what are you talking about? Happy birthday, you filthy animal. My wife said the following. You tell that dude, happy birthday, you handsome young man. If Najee would commit to a traditional fullback role, I'd be okay with that pickup. Spy Tech rolls with incentive contract, and it's an alley-oop. All right, we're going to hang off on some of these alley-oops here in a moment. Thank you very much from your wife.
Najee to fullback?
We're going to talk a little bit about Najee Harris today. I'm going to respectfully disagree on the fullback role for Harris because I wouldn't even go with the fullback role in today's day and age of the NFL. But incentive-based contract for any running back, I think it's almost needed at this point because the running back is a very important position. And if you get a back that puts up numbers like, King Henry, Saquon Barkley did, I'll give that guy $20, $25 million. I don't care. The fear is, though, that they're not going to be able to stay healthy enough.
We're going to save it for the mailbag. We have a mailbag coming later.
Fair.
This is the first mailbag that we're doing in a couple weeks. So if you want your question answered, hashtag Raiders or Super Chat. If you Super Chat a Raiders question, I'll put it up, but I'm going to try to only keep it Raiders. Let's try to do a lot of free agency. I think free agency is coming up. A lot of people want to talk about free agency. I thought that Navman question was really good. So if you want to get on the show, hashtag Raiders or Super Chat, ask your top Raiders question, preferably free agency, but other questions will do.
And then we'll tell you what the deals are on today's show. I obviously appreciate everybody that always super chats, that always shows love, but I also want y'all to save the craziness for when my dad's here. My dad's technically not in the studio yet. We are technically in Chugs and I's brand new studio here at Chat Sports, but there is still a lot of construction that is happening around us, so if you hear anything, kind of be on the lookout for it. But I want to save a lot of the shenanigans. I want to save a lot of the craziness for when my dad does decide to pull up. Though I will tell you this, if anybody wants to get in a duck race, we are going to do a $20 duck race today at Mitchell Renz 365. If you want a chance to win some money,
honey,
let's get that going, man. Let's get it going. Ed Robbins, I see you. I appreciate you, man. Happy birthday. Much, much love, Ed. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate that. And then Sir Chai, happy birthday, Mitch. It's going to be a lit live. Oh, dude, it's going to be a really, really lit live. All I ask, let's get through these 3 Raiders segments. That way I'm not a complete, idiot during the cuts. And then after that, we're going to let our hair down. We're going to talk some Raiders. We're going to have some drinks. My dad's going to be here. You guys can also ask my dad anything. It can be me related. It can be him related. It can be whatever. Just when you do it, Just you got to still use hashtag Raiders. That way we can put it up on screen.
Favorite position?
I think it's probably quarterback for him. He just likes to get under center. I mean, just two hands. Just you're getting in there, man.
Yeah, he's a great tush-push guy.
Oh, dude, he loves a good West Coast offense.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you this. If my dad was a offensive play caller, ground and pound.
Uh-huh.
And maybe a UFC fighter. All right, let's get into the first segment.
He likes to spread the defense and then ram it in the middle.
Wow, that's sounds a lot like Chip Kelly's offense, quite frankly.
Uh-huh.
Sir Chai, I appreciate you, ma'am. So the first segment we got coming up here on today's show is some Raiders interesting rumors that I saw. One's around the NFL draft, one is around a player in free agency, and then another player is via a trade. I'm going to just give you my 2 cents on all of that. Then we're going to look at some best values at the free agency market because I'm a believer. Don't get me wrong. I want the Raiders to spend big. But when you find a free agent at that valuable price tag and you can build a lot of good depth, which the Raiders are going to have to be able to do, there's a lot of good players that the Raiders don't have to overspend on to be able to build that roster the way that I would like to be able to build it. And then the final segment, Raiders Mailbag. We got to get through those 3 segments by, let's say, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. So we got about an hour and 15 minutes to do that. If you guys are ready to go, if you're ready to party, because I'm not going to lie to y'all, waking up this morning, I was pumped to come to work. I was pumped to be able to hang out with the nation. It's not always my birthday falls on a Thursday or a Friday, and usually we can get a little bit crazy on a Thursday or Friday. I took off tomorrow, so I'm scot-free. You do have to work, but I'm ready to get crazy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How many likes until we can get this thing started? What's like your magic number here? How about this? 320.
Okay.
Or is that not? That might be too many, quite frankly.
I was gonna say we might be here for a little bit.
We're gonna just sit around.
169.
All right, I like that number. 169 likes because apparently I am 69
we need
today.
18 more.
I am 69 today.
69, 18.
Chugs literally got me a flippin' cake that said "Happy 69th birthday." When I first looked at it, I thought I read it wrong. I was like, "That's the weirdest 3 and 2 I've ever seen." Yep.
Dude, the small lady behind there that was helping me this morning,
yeah,
she was very surprised that you were 69. She goes, "Mitch?"
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
She watches the show.
Imagine Adam Butler walking out in a 32 jersey. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird. I'm kind of into it, though.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got 500 people. We just hit 200 likes. Let's get into the Raiders rumors here on today's show because I can already tell we got a lot of people that are ready to get this thing going. And reminder, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365 for a chance to win some money. It's my birthday. We might add some money to that pot.
It's my birthday.
We might add some money to that pot. I'm also telling you this. I'm getting in that duck race, and if I win, don't yell at me. Chugs is going to get in that duck race. My dad's going to get in the duck race. So if you want to try to take us down,
dude, we're
bring
gonna
it.
Be so deep in that duck race.
Bring it. Anybody that beats me in a duck race, you get the last place prize.
Quick question.
What do you got for me?
We'll be telling you later on in the program as well. But what are we still using the code FKC
for Panda?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Yep.
Just needed to.
I see Mark and Yoda are the first 2 people that are in the duck race, and I'll continue to update everybody while we go through. What up, Jesus? What's up, Rebel? I see you down there. Big Rock, I got you. What up, A Vet, King Shav, Raider Rob? Ready to go? You guys ready to go? Let's talk a little Raiders rumors here on today's show. I found some fun Raiders rumors that I wanted to talk about here on today's show. And for those that don't know, today's my birthday. If you want to spam HBD and guess how old I am, I'll be looking down at the comments. So we're going to be talking about the NFL draft and whether or not the Raiders are going to pass on a quarterback in round 1. There's an interesting report around that. We're going to talk a little free agency. Should the Raiders be interested in running back Najee Harris? And then we're going to talk about a trade. Should the Raiders look at potentially trading for Deebo Samuel? Before you say no, do you know how much it's going to cost? Because after you see the cost, you might go, All right, that might change my answer here. If you're looking for daily videos every single day, whether it's my birthday, whether it's your birthday, whether it's the New Year, Christmas, Chugs and I have put out a video every single day on this channel for the past 5 years. You might not agree with everything that I do. We have over 4,000 videos on this YouTube channel. But if you believe in a commitment to excellence, if you believe in working hard, I promise you this, we're going to show you how hard you guys can how hard people can work out there. I don't know. I heard you say something to me in my ear. It kind of threw me off. Chugs was saying, if you're going to spam FKC, you're also going to love our sponsor, Panda Sups. Use code FKC for 25% off at pandasups.com. Whether it's some workout supplements, maybe you're trying to get in the best shape of your life. I've been trying to get into a little bit better shape, and these are the products that I use. It's also owned and operated by a diehard Raiders fan. Let's go to the very first one. Coming up here on today's show are the Las Vegas Raiders going to pass on a quarterback in round 1 of the 2025 NFL Draft. I'm going to give this one 2 just win babies, and I'm going to say people are talking. If you would have asked me this question back when the Raiders were getting ready to play the Jags, when the Raiders were getting ready to play the Saints, I would have said no chance in hell are the Raiders going to pass on a quarterback in round 1. But according to one of the most tapped-in people in the NFL draft world, Daniel Jeremiah, he said, quote, that he wouldn't be shocked if they passed on a quarterback in round 1. And I find that interesting because I know for a fact the Raiders will sign or trade for a QB early this offseason because they have to. If you haven't seen that video, it's going to be down in the comments in the description of today's show. It's got over 100,000 views on it, so please go check it out. Also, have you noticed the Shedeur Sanders value? It has definitely been sliding, and I think because Shedeur's value has been sliding backwards, and some of these other quarterbacks that we maybe have thought were third-round potentials, not like the Jackson Darts, the Jalen Milrose, they're starting to creep up a little bit. So could the Raiders potentially pass on a quarterback in round 1? I say it's a 50% chance. Here's what Jeremiah had to say. I wouldn't be shocked if the Raiders decided to wait until day 2 of the draft to address the quarterback position. But I do see Sanders as a good fit in Chip Kelly's offense. So there's another person who does believe that Shedeur Sanders would be a good fit in Kelly's offense. And I have said this multiple times. I'm so confident in Chip Kelly, the OC. I'm not confident in Chip Kelly, the head coach, but I am really confident in Chip Kelly, the OC. And whatever quarterback that you put with Kelly, he's smart enough, he's good enough to be able to build an offense that really helps that person succeed to be their best potential quarterback. He's not a Josh McDaniels type of OC where no matter what, he's going to run the exact same system no matter who the QB is. So my question to the nation out there is this: which round will the Raiders draft a quarterback? You got 1 through 7. Let me know down below what round you think the Raiders are going to take a QB, and if you want some bonus points, maybe even a slice of birthday cake, let me know who that quarterback is going to be in that round. My answer would be the round that I believe is the most likely that the Raiders select a quarterback. I'm going to go either round 2 or round 3, and I say that because of the position itself. I do think that the Raiders want a quarterback. However, the only QB that I would legitimately take right now in the top 6 picks is Cam Ward. And if Shedeur Sanders is on the board there at 6, I'm going to be intrigued by it. But I also wonder if Shedeur wanting to be a Raider and Dion wanting Shedeur to be a Raider, if the Raiders were to pass on him at 6, how far does Sanders slide? Because you talk to a lot of NFL draft scouts out there, and I think after the combine, his value is going to continue to fall and fall and fall. But when you look at my quarterback draft rankings for the Las Vegas Raiders, I think you could get Jalen Milroe in round 2, round 3. Jackson Dart, round 2, round 3. You could get a Will Howard, round 2, round 3. And a lot of the quarterbacks that I personally like for Las Vegas, you could see them potentially take on day 2 or early in day 3. But also, it's about the picks. You got 2 third-round picks and a second-round pick. Because you have 3 picks there, and because the Raiders have 3 sixth-round picks, I anticipate that the Raiders are going to use one of those thirds to potentially move up, or you could even see the Raiders potentially trade back into the back end of round 1 if there's a run on quarterbacks. I just don't think that there's going to be a run on quarterbacks in round 1. Only time's going to tell. Let's go to the next story here on the show. Should the Raiders be interested in running back Najee Harris from the Pittsburgh Steelers? This one is also going to be 2 just win babies, because I could make an entire show telling you why the Raiders should be interested in Najee Harris. I could also do an entire show around why they really shouldn't be interested in Najee. He's a good running back, physical runner, 26 years old, and according to Ben Rolfe from Pro Football Network, the Raiders are a great spot for Harris. Right now, when you look at Spotrac, they have him projected at about $9.2 million, and depending on who you talk to, you could say that he's arguably the best running back on the open market. If it was up to me, I would say the clear top 2 running backs on the open market are Najee Harris and Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, if you want to go maybe 1 to 2 year deal, if you're looking for a longer term running back deal, Najee could be that guy. Though, it's very important that the Raiders don't overspend at the running back position because of how deep this running back class is. If you want to sign Najee on a contract that's friendly for like a 1 year deal, think about the way that we talk about quarterbacks. Bridge QB, if your mindset is to have Najee Harris be a bridge running back for one of those young guys, I'm okay with it. If you're just going to sign Najee to a 4-year deal and you want him to be that guy for 4 years, then I don't love that option. Here's what Pro Football Network had to say on the Raiders targeting Najee Harris. Well, it's not an exciting option. He is a durable option with a proven history as both a runner and a receiver. Harris has topped 1,000 rushing yards in each of his first 4 seasons and has a 74-catch season on his resume. If Pete Carroll wants the next version of Marshawn Lynch for his team, Harris could be that player. Lynch was no more dynamic than Harris during the first 4 years of his career, but his career took off in Seattle. The fit feels right, and the Raiders have the cap space to pay for a running back. If they do not want to spend the 6th pick on Ashton Jeanty, then Harris could be the ideal starting running back for Pete Carroll and the Raiders. Oh, I will say this. It is a really bad comparison comparing Marshawn Lynch and Najee Harris because, quite frankly, they're like not even close to the same running back. I know Najee looks like a big old physical dude, and he looks like a Derrick Henry. He looks like a Marshawn Lynch, but they're running styles. Najee's a thumper and tries to thump, but Marshawn also was just way, way, way more of a physical type of running back, and Najee's a better pass catcher than I think what Lynch was at the peak of his career with Pete. But I understand the comparison because Najee at times didn't look great in Pittsburgh. He looked pretty damn good against the Raiders this past season, but you know that Carroll's going to want to run the rock. You know that this offense is going to be wanting to be balanced, but also having a reliable running back. One of my favorite parts about Najee's game is his ability to block. You know, we talk a lot about the offensive line. You talk a lot about these other positions, but sometimes you need to be able to have a reliable running back that can also pass block, that also might be able to run block from time to time, and that physical dude who's able to stay on the field. My biggest concern when you go out and you pay a running back is how healthy are they going to be? Najee's been one of the healthiest running backs out there, and I think it's because he's just genuinely bigger than most running backs, and I wonder if he could have some of that longevity like Derrick Henry has. Not going to be even close to as good as Derrick Henry, but can he have the longevity like a King Henry has. Also, though, if you're trying to build this locker room, if you're going to bring players in, I want guys that are a good locker room fit. And if Max Crosby thinks that Najee Harris is a good locker room fit, that's just a little bit of a cherry on top if we go out and get him. Here's what Mad Max had to say about the Raiders bringing in Harris. He's from the Bay. Najee's a baller. Anybody that could help win when it comes to winning and being a culture guy, a leader, that's the type of guy I want around. You've seen Najee. He's played 4 years in the league and has had 1,000 yards every season. That alone is impressive. He is a tough effer and hard to tackle, too. I'd love to have a guy like Najee around. Selfishly, he could come to Vegas all day. I mean, that's right there. The number one player that the Raiders are trying to lock in for a long-term deal. When Max Crosby talks about you that way, you got to listen. And he is a great locker room player. He is a physical running back that's been able to stay healthy. He's a solid blocker. But it also, by you going out and getting Harris, it allows you to wait a little bit longer on that running back that you take. I think Ashton Jeanty's a hell of a back. I love Amari and Hampton. There's a lot of really good running backs in this class. And if it was up to me, I personally would like the Raiders' overall roster if, hypothetically, if let's say you were to sign Najee Harris, then you go out and you draft let's say, a Mason Graham and Abdul Carter, maybe it's somebody on your offensive line at 6 instead of taking Ashton Jeanty, where you're able to build that offensive line a little bit more, maybe longevity in the draft, and then you can find some of those really good running backs. Because, dude, I'm telling you, like Ollie Gordon, You want Ollie Gordon in round 3, maybe round 4, or do you want to pay Najee Harris 9.2? If you want to combine them, I'm okay with that idea as well, because signing Harris does give you the flexibility to wait on a running back in the 2025 draft. But here's the question. If you could pick between these two, because I would say these are the top 2 backs in the open market this season. You got Aaron Jones, who I get it, is up there in age, but Aaron Jones has also been able to stay healthier 2 out of the last 3 seasons. He's a better pass catcher, maybe not as much of a thumper, but overall, if you told me 1 year and 1 year only, Aaron Jones is the guy that I would go with. He doesn't have the longevity that Najee does. Najee, to me, is the safer option in terms of being healthy, but these are the decisions that John Spytek, Tom Brady, and Pete Carroll are going to have to make. So let's play this game. Sign a running back. Do you want Aaron Jones at $5.6 million, or would you want Najee Harris at $9.2 million? NH for Najee, AJ for Aaron Jones. My answer is this. I am going to go with Aaron Jones at $5.6 million, which is why I didn't give the Najee 4 just win babies. The Raiders should be interested. You should pick up the phone and you should call Najee and see what the asking price is. If you can get him at maybe like 7.5 on a 2-year deal, I'm okay with that. But if you're trying to give Harris a 4-year like a 4-year, $48 million deal, something like Josh Jacobs got, I'm not interested in that type of paycheck for somebody like Najee Harris. I would much rather you go 1-year rental, bridge running back, draft the next guy, and then let that running back learn underneath a professional like Aaron Jones, and then you allow that running back that you take in round 3. Maybe you take him in round 4, and then that's your starting running back for the next 3 seasons. Before we get into the trade rumor around Deebo Samuel, because before you say, Mitch, it's crazy, I do this show to talk about crazy, but I also do this show to educate people, because I think if I were to say, do you want the Raiders to trade for Deebo Samuel, all 700 people watching this live show right now are going to be like, no, I don't want anything to do with Deebo Samuel. I hear you loud and clear. What if I told you get him for $1.2 million? And you're like, all right, that's a little bit more interesting. I'll tell you how that could be possible here in just a moment. But our show sponsor is Panda Subs. If you're looking for any other products out there, this is the homepage. You can shop Panda, whatever you want personally. If you're trying to get a better night's sleep, if you're trying to stay up, maybe crank out some homework, if you're trying to have a healthier gut, the greens is something that I recommend. Some of their best sellers, a lot of them are their pre-workout. And from a lot of people that I've talked to that are that workout, I would say consistently, love their pre-workouts because it's strong, it wakes up your muscles, and it makes you get in and crush your workout. For anybody that spends over $100 and uses code FKC at pandasubs.com, if you spend over $100, you're going to get that shaker and you're going to get that bag. 25% off, pandasubs.com. We're still rocking code FKC because as far as I'm concerned, it's still the month of February, and this is still, somebody asked me the other day, Mitch, do you have another team? And I said, no, I don't have a favorite team. Though, in the month of February, I am low-key, like 1%, a little bit of a Philadelphia Eagles fan for them just beating the shit out of the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go to the final story here on today's episode of the Raiders Report. And should the Raiders trade for Deebo Samuel? I'm not going to say tuck rule, tuck that. I am, though, going to give this one only one just win, baby. And even though there is probably only 1% chance of this happening, I am a man that likes a good deal. I am a person that, I am somebody that always says, if it's free, it's for me. It's not free, but in the world of the NFL, this is as close to free as what you are going to get. So Deebo has been linked to the Raiders. He's been linked to a bunch of teams this offseason because from what it sounds like, the 49ers would like to be able to move on from him. If you haven't seen, he's looking 20 to 25 pounds overweight, according to multiple reports. And the Raiders are a football team that want to run the ball a lot this offseason. You can say what you want about Deebo Samuel as a receiver, but Deebo is a good athlete and might be able to run the rock from time to time. I'm not going to pay Deebo what the Niners are paying him, which his cap hit if he stays on San Francisco is $31 million this year. That's why the 49ers want to move on from him. They're in a little bit of salary cap hell. They got to figure out what they got in Brock Purdy. So for San Francisco, they want to move on from Deebo, and they would take, I honestly think, almost just about anything so they don't have to just outright cut him. If you're the Raiders and you trade for Deebo Samuel, You get him at $1.2 million based on the way his contract is structured. So you could get a Deebo at 29 years old at $1.2 million. If the San Francisco 49ers, they call you and they go, hey, 5th-round pick for Deebo at 1.2, I would say yes, only if I don't got to pay Deebo the year after. If Deebo wants to not only whatever team he goes to, he also wants a brand new contract, I ain't doing it. Like, I don't want Deebo at 1.2 in 2025, and then I got to give him a brand new deal in 2026 and 2027. That's not what I'm interested in. If Deebo's willing to take a $1.2 million deal, shit, I'll give him $10 million in incentives if he can stay healthy and prove to be a decent player. I'm okay with that. But $1.2 million, when you hear that number, all I say is you at least got to think about it. So one more time here are Raiders rumors. Could the Raiders pass on a quarterback in round 1? I would say there's a 50% chance that they don't draft a QB at 6. Could the Raiders be interested in Najee Harris? I would say yes, you got to pick up the phone, you got to give it a call. But if Aaron Jones is also willing to play, hey, why can't we take 2 to tango? And then, should you trade for Deebo at 1.2? You at least got to think about it. If he wants anything more, if he wants a long-term deal, then I'm sorry, I'm out. What up, John Rodriguez? Happy birthday, Mitch, you young whippersnapper.
Whippersnapper.
So, young whippersnapper. That makes John Rodriguez at least 55 years old. You can't call somebody a young whippersnapper and not be at least 55.
Rather whipper or snapper?
I don't know if either's a good one. I don't even know. I think either
that's so
could.
rude of you.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If I asked Alex, would I rather whip her or snap her?
Does she like Rihanna?
I do. I know I do. What's up, Nav Man?
Actually, I did want to say that to you today. Did you know you share a birthday with Rihanna?
Yep.
You know how old she is?
I do not. If I had to guess, probably like 44.
Really?
That's my guess. I don't know how old she is. I have no idea.
Not close.
34?
Closer.
36.
Hot?
Yes. 37.
Yeah!
Ah, nice. I also share a birthday with one of my favorite pitchers. He was once a Mets pitcher.
Oh, that. I thought you meant like the Kool-Aid man.
No. He's probably most famous for the Tigers and the Astros.
Oh, Justin Verlander.
Bingo. Today's Justin Verlander's birthday. What up, now, man? Just got my Panda Sups. Wife took it over, as they do, pre-workout sup. It is badass. She's less sore after her workout. It's real stuff, bro. Workout is more reasonable on recovery. And I think like that's...
You didn't read that right. She's less sore after I work her out.
I wasn't going to read that.
Nav, man, you dirty dog. You dirty dog.
It sounds like she got whipped and snapped.
Martin actually, shout out to England out there. Martin actually said, I snapped my whipper ages ago.
I think we got to get off this topic. What up, Def? Happy B-Day, Mitch, from snowy New York. Dude, New York, I'll tell you this, it's cold down here in Dallas. I walked to work today. It was 10 degrees. I can't believe at times. Now, again, I'm kind of used to it, being from the Northeast, but still, 10 degrees is, it's still cold. But every time I say anything about the temperature, my dad's always, it's negative 40 in North Dakota where your cousin is. That's terrible. If you live in North Dakota, that's your choice. That's not on me. What's your go-to birthday dinner? So I know we're going to a restaurant that's kind of like seafood-ish. I love seafood. And then we're going to go to a speakeasy where they do live jazz. Live jazz. I hope we get to see Ron Burgundy. But I love seafood. My dad's in town. He's like a big steak person.
I was going to say big luck with the steak. That's a man birthday.
I mean, steak. You can't go wrong with seafood steak.
Lasagna or prime rib, Morisco's Ibanda. I did see something that looked really good, and I can't remember the name of it. It was like a Mexican dish where it's, I think it's a piscata. You know what that is?
I don't know.
Help me out in the chat. I might be saying it wrong. A piscata. It's basically like this huge, like pan or huge like bowl, right, that you cook in, and it's just like chorizo, steak, a bunch of meat, peppers, and onions, and then like you heat the tortillas on the outside, and you go in and you just grab a tortilla and you just like pick up from the middle of it. It's almost like a dip, but it's like steak.
That sounds really good.
I think it's called piscata.
I don't know what that is exactly, though. What would have been Valentine's Day, last Friday, right? Last Friday? Yeah, last Friday, Valentine's Day. Alex gave me this. We went out to eat, and she got this. It was chorizo and cheese, and when they brought it out to the table, they literally, like, picked it up.
Queso fundido.
Yep, that's exactly it. And
It's
it blew my
Piscata.
mind. It was delicious.
Okay, thank you. I knew
It's like a better
I knew I wasn't right
mozzarella.
in it. It's a discata.
Discata?
Yeah, and it's like it looks fire. I've never had it. Looks amazing though.
Jordan, Mitch, you're a Pisces. It makes a lot of sense. Now you don't listen. I'm not a
let's
great.
see.
I actually think I'm a good listener. I'm a bad rememberer.
I see hibachi, steak
Dude,
and lobster.
hibachi.
I'm from Texas, so I'm a big Tex-Mex guy. I love Mexican food on my birthday. Like a nice plate of fajitas, queso, guac, all the fixins. I also do love a hibachi plate. Hibachi, absolutely fire. I don't think I even have a go-to dinner.
Yeah.
It's more of what I'm feeling because I'm like you know me, I'm a big foodie, so it's like kind of
Sure.
what I'm in the mood for, what I'm feeling. I've been on a huge ramen kick, which sucks
Really?
because Danny doesn't really like ramen.
I like ramen. I don't crave ramen.
Oh,
But now, when it's this cold, like Alex's mom made a really awesome vegetable medley soup, which, again, I don't love soup, but when people make soup that know how to make soup, and you just get, it's like just so many extra depths of flavors, how I would explain it. Like, when I feel like when I make soup, it's one flavor. Alex's mom, when she makes the soup, there's like, it's 6 different flavors in one, and it's so different in every
that's
bite.
why we were talking about it. I think it was a couple months ago. That like Tomka soup from like
Tumka.
dude, that's so good.
It's amazing. Like, I love Tumka soup.
Big Luck, Lupe Tortilla Fajitas. It is gas.
So my dad just texted me. He said he's on his way. So what I want to do here is I want to try to get through this next segment. That way I can go down and I can get him out from guys, I don't want him to wait out there. It's really
know what you were
cold.
going down on.
What up, Caleb Tarr? Happy birthday, dude. Dallas meetup later this year. If anybody's in Dallas, hit me up.
Also,
Hit me up.
if we need, we can send somebody down to get him.
Yeah, I know. I have his work order. I have like all that kind of stuff. But if we need someone to send down, he's going to be here in about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how quick Richie's walking. What's up, OG? Appreciate you, dude. Happy birthday. Hope you have a good one, brother. Go to dinner.
His go-to dinner is pozole.
Pozole? I do love pozole. That's actually Alex's it's probably Alex's one of her favorite meals. I don't like home cooked meals. Where if you need something that is just like a good home cooked meal, for me personally, like I always like go back and I think of like my grandma's stuffed shells. Like that like feels like home to me. Pozole for Alex, anytime her mom makes it, I mean, she is a kid in a candy store.
I might have started something in the chat with the discata because people are going crazy.
Discata?
Just like,
Lord Cameron Abbott Bye! It's fun to stay at the LCA. Cameron, I love you. I'll take it one sip because you're Mount Raider more. We are going to get into some shenanigans a little bit later on. I want to save some of the shenanigans for when my dad pulls up because, you know, like my dad always watches online with all you guys, and I want him to sit up here and party a little bit with us. And the deal that we have, I want y'all to wait, okay? I want y'all to wait. But Cameron, to the entire nation out there, I appreciate you guys.
sip.
Big sip. All right. Papa Dough.
I do want to read this before we get on. Happy birthday, Mitch. And I saw this in the group chat. I'm leaving the hospital today, so your B-Day rubbed off on me. Many thanks to Raider Nation and my Mount Raidermore brothers for praying for me. Now, take a drink.
Yeah, I know, Cameron. You scared the shit out of me the other day when you sent me that picture. And I was like, dude, what is happening now?
It was kind of lit, though. He was in the hospital bed, and he had his Bang MVP
jersey. Somebody's like,
the doctor walks in and he's like, "Are you ready for your surgery?" And he just looks down and it's bang MVP, and he's like,
Bang MVP.
"I've never been more ready."
And he's like, I was ready for this the moment I was the Bang MVP. All right, y'all. Reminder again, $20 Venmo to get in for a chance to win some money at Mitchell Renz 365. At a quick glance, we are probably almost close to a winner would get $100. I'll shout out those names here in a moment, but we got to get this happy hour started in about an hour from now at the absolute least. And I'm going to have to go get my dad here in a little bit. So coming up here, we're going to talk about some of these best value free agents because it is really, really important for the Raiders to be able to go out and find and build a team from top to bottom. You ready? You ready to go? Coming up here, let's talk about some of these best value free agents for the Las Vegas Raiders. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, we're going to be looking at the best value NFL free agents at each position for the silver and black. I know that the Raiders have right now somewhere around $100 million in salary cap, and I know the salary cap continues to go up. But the way good teams are built is you go out and you find a few cornerstone building block players and you spend big, and then you take that other money and you use that and you allocate that to build depth on a lot of positions. For a Raiders team that's got a brand new regime and 27, 28 free agents hitting that open market, we have a lot of holes that need to be filled. So today, I'm filling some holes. So here's what we need to do. You got to go out. You got to find players of value. If you're somebody that, I don't care if you are a billionaire. I don't care if you have all the money in the world. Sometimes I think the richest people are the smartest people because they spend their money on things that they need. These players down below are going to fill needs, and we're going to be able to put them, and they're going to be able to help us out at a discounted price. Before we get into all of these players here on today's show, I gotta show some love to our sponsor, Panda Supps. Use code FKC at pandasupps.com for 25% off. They have all sorts, and I mean all sorts of awesome workout supplements. Panda Supps is here to save the day. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to go offense first, and then we're going to go to the defensive side of the football. And at the very, very end of the show, I'm going to show you how much money it is projected that it's going to cost to go out and sign the 10 players that we're going to be breaking down here on today's episode. So first, we're going to be looking at the quarterback position, and the quarterback that I believe is the best bang for the buck on the open market is Justin Fields. I'm also going to show you what Justin Fields and all these other players are compared to with all these other free agents out there in terms of guys that I like for the Las Vegas Raiders. The reason why I'll say Justin Fields is the best value quarterback is because I believe in Chip Kelly. I believe in Pete Carroll. I believe in Tom Brady. I believe in John Spytek. And I really do think that no matter what quarterback that you bring in, I can make an argument that they're going to have almost a career year, maybe outside of Sam Darnold. But Justin Fields, when you look at his ability to throw the football and his ability to run, you can't find a better option at the price tag. You just simply can't. You can't find somebody that's won the amount of games that he's won recently. You can't find the dual threat ability. And I made a video, and there's over 300,000 views on it on Instagram, Twitter at MitchellRenz365. And I said, Chip Kelly is the perfect offensive coordinator to fix Justin Fields. Fields also is only 25 years old. He's going to be 26 in a few weeks. But if he was 25 years old, getting ready to hit this NFL draft class, he'd be the number 2 quarterback, in my opinion, behind only Cam Ward. But look at the value here in terms of price tag. You could pay Sam Darnold $40.1 million. Also, all of these values are via Spotrac. Every single number you see here on today's show is from Spotrac. You could pay Russell Wilson $38.7, Justin Fields $6.4, Marcus Mariota $4.2, Zach Wilson $3.3. I'll admit, I think you're still going to have to pay Justin Fields still around that $10 million figure, but still, even Fields at $10 million compared to Sam Darnold or Russell Wilson, no matter what quarterback the Raiders bring in, it's going to be at a risk. So if I'm going to take a little bit of a risk, I want there to be a little bit of a price discount, and you can't deny that Justin Fields is a freakazoid in terms of an athlete. Also, he's been able to win football games his last 12 starts. He is 8-4 in his last 12 starts because oftentimes people are like, oh, this guy got benched. He didn't really get benched. They went out, they had Russell Wilson, and Mike Tomlin wanted to roll with Russell Wilson. But you saw the way that Steelers team started to struggle down the stretch. They didn't really have as many of those struggles as they did with Fields. My number one concern with Justin is his inability to throw the ball down the field. Maybe it can get better. I don't know if it can. But what I do like is taking the chance because I believe in Chip Kelly, and I do think that Justin Fields is an absolute Ferrari. You just got to find somebody that knows how to drive it. Let's go to the running back position in terms of who do I think is the best value running back on the open market. And I'm going to go with running back Aaron Jones. I like Aaron Jones a lot. And I think that he's a solid running back. He's a reliable running back from top to bottom. He had 255 carries last season, 1,138 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He showed that he still has a little bit of juice left in the tank. He signed a 1-year, $7 million deal last season for the Minnesota Vikings. And the way that I also look at Aaron Jones is the Raiders have got to be doing a lot of homework on Sam Darnold, right? At least they better be with all the reports that are coming out. If they're watching all that tape on Sam Darnold, how do you not watch the tape on Aaron Jones? Because when you watch Jones, look at that game that he had in the playoffs last, 2 seasons ago against the Dallas Cowboys, was playing incredible football. Then he had a pretty damn solid year this past year in Minnesota. And according to Spotrac, it's only going to cost you $5.6 million. He played in all 17 games 2 of the last 3 seasons, and he is a reliable runner between the tackles. And he can catch the football, which is going to be really important to do in the offense that the Raiders are incorporating. Also, by not overspending at the running back position, because to me, in free agency, I'm really only looking at Aaron Jones or Najee Harris, and I would use both of those running backs as a potential bridge, because when you look at how great this running back class is in the NFL draft, you go out and you sign an Aaron Jones, and then you go out and you potentially draft a running back. But right now, I would say consensus, the top 3 backs are this: Najee Harris, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins. Dobbins is cheaper at 4.2, and if you told me that all 3 of these running backs are going to play 17 games, I'll take J.K. Dobbins. I get he was good this past year for the Chargers, but he's the one that I believe has the number 1 biggest injury risk, so that takes that off the board. Then if all I'm looking at is a running back that I realistically only need on a 1, maybe 2-year deal, I'm going to go with Aaron Jones because he's half the price of Najee Harris. Because of that, Aaron Jones is the best value running back that the Raiders could get. Let's go to the next position coming up here, and we're going to be looking at the wide receiver spot. And the name that I'm going to throw out here is going to surprise some people because it's not a big-name guy. I'm looking at best value, and I would say because I know the Raiders want to run the rock, the best value free agent wide receiver is Mac Flippin' Hollins. Go back, you watch the Buffalo Bills at the end of the season last season. Sounded weird. But when they needed a big first down, when they needed a field stretcher, Josh Allen was finding Mac Hollins, and he is as physical as they come. I know he doesn't wear shoes. I know he's a little bit of a weirdo, but I kind of like that mentality in my, let's just call him, third wide receiver. You put Mac Hollins out on the field, and you allow him to stretch the field. Jacoby's still your top receiver. You still got Brock Bowers. This also allows a guy like Trey Tucker to get it going. But you can still then, on top of that, draft a receiver to play as some up there, just whether it's maybe in the top 3, top 4 rounds, you can do it. He's a great blocker. He offers that downfield speed, which is what's really going to be critical in a Chip Kelly offense. If you go out and you sign Justin Fields, the Raiders should be banned from the NFL if they don't try to target Mac Hollins or another player that we're going to discuss here in a moment. He's one of the best special teams gunners that there is in the league, and at $2.4 million, the Raiders need some extra wide receiver depth. If he's your wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3 at 31 years old, again, he's going to go out there and he's going to do the dirty work, and sometimes you need a receiver that's going to go out there and do the dirty work. So when you compare that to the other top wide receivers on the market that I view for the Raiders, T. Higgins is the top guy. He's $25.4 million. Chris Godwin, $22.5. If you're okay spending over $20 million, I'm okay going out and getting Godwin. Keenan Allen's got a lot of connections with Chris Beatty, the Raiders wide receiver coach. Mike Williams also has connections with Chris Beatty at 4.2. Nick Westbrook is 27. If you want a younger version of Mac Hollins that I don't think is as athletic as Hollins, but still can go out there and block, had 8 touchdowns last season, good red zone option, Nick Westbrook is also somebody that I would consider at $3.9 million. Here's the thing. The Raiders are going to be aggressive, and they're going to be spending a lot of money this offseason. You can guarantee it, and we already know. But are the Raiders going to spend more money on offense, or are they going to spend more money on the defensive side of the football? This is going to be the pinned comment here on today's show. You're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break. While that ad is playing, I want you to scroll on down, and I want you to give me your answer. Are they going to spend more on offense or defense in free agency? I'm going to go with the Raiders are going to spend more money on offense in free agency this offseason simply because of the quarterback position, the offensive line, and they need to get the offense going. I do also think that they're going to try to re-sign some of these dudes, which you're going to be able to get at a little bit more of a discounted price, if you will, with Patrick Graham, Rob Leonard. It's also a star-studded defensive class, and that's kind of where I'm hoping that they look in terms of like the draft is a little bit more on the defensive side of the football. Let's go to the next position here for the Raiders, tight end. You already got Brock Bowers, you got Michael Mayer, but you are losing Harrison Bryant. So in my mind, I am looking for a tight end 3. And the tight end 3 that I thought had the most value for this current regime, and you got to get this jersey, by the way, in Vegas. Give me a little Mo Alley Cox, and I get it. He's up there in age. Former basketball player, good red zone option at 6'5", 200 and basically 70 pounds. You're not adding Mo Alley Cox to catch the football. You are adding Mo Alley Cox to block, and he is one of the best blocking tight ends on the open market that you're going to be able to get for about $2 million. If I'm going to go out and sign another tight end, it's not to take away from Brock Bowers. It's not to take away from Michael Mayer. If we only target our tight end position 200 times, I want 150 of those mother effers to go to Bowers, and I want 50 of those to go to Michael Mayer. I don't give a shit if Mo Alley Cox doesn't catch a single football. He's on the field to block. He is one of the only tight ends that had a above 64 overall PFF grade for pass blocking and run blocking. That's where I want him. I want him in there for the blocking situations. You want to put 12 personnel out there and you want to run the football? Well, hey, you can run behind Mo Alley Cox. You need a big red zone option to throw one up to him once in a while? You go a little bit of Mo Alley Cox. Let's go to the offensive line coming up next here on the show. And I combined offensive guard, offensive tackles. I combined it all to make this show run. Offensive line, the best bang for your buck guy, it's Mekhi Becton. I said multiple times this offseason, the number one positions I'm okay overspending, it's in the trenches. I'm done trying to piece together a cheap offensive line with a Greg Van Roten, who did do a good job. I had a lot of respect for Jermaine Illuminor. You know, the Raiders last season, they tried to get another little bit out of a guy like Andre Dames, DJ Glaze. I'm done with it. I want one of the best offensive lines in the NFL because I know the Raiders want to run the ball, and I know the Raiders want to protect their quarterback. Mekhi Becton is a flipping dog, and if you can get him at 10.2, hell, if you can get Becton at anything under $15 million, I'm not kidding you when I say this, I am on board with it. You just got to make sure you give him some incentives on top of that. He's coming off a career year. I think he's a perfect fit in what Kelly's going to want to do. And if the Raiders want to run the football, you put Mekhi Becton next to JPJ, and that's a defensive tackle's nightmare because those two guys are going to beat the shit out of you for 4 straight quarters. If you believe football games are won in the trenches, then let's go out and spend a little bit of money. And I wanted to show you guys just some other examples of some other guards, and then maybe the top tackle on the market, Ronnie Stanley, is at 20.7. Trey Smith at 18.8. I'm telling all y'all right now, Trey Smith is starting to fall further and further down my list of guys that I want in terms of offensive line. Tevin Jenkins is a dude that I like, but he's got a lot of injury issues. Kevin Zeitler, he's a hell of an offensive lineman. He's 34 years old. So if this is basically what you're paying for a guard, I'm going to take the guy that just won a Super Bowl and the player that I believe I can plug right away at right guard. You then could probably kick over Dylan Parham, the left guard. I want JPJ to be the full-time center. Then you might be able to find a tackle in the draft. There's a lot of good offensive linemen. Mekhi Becton is where I'm going to be spending my money. So on the offensive side of the football, these to me are your best bang for your buck free agents that the Raiders could be looking at. Fields, Aaron Jones, Matt Collins, Mo Alley Cox, and Mekhi Becton. But you know what? We're only halfway through. Before we get into the defensive side of the football, huge shout out to our sponsor here, Panda Sups. The products that I use every single day. I use every single day their protein, which I recommend you guys go try out. Their creatine, which I'm not going to lie, Murbad, if you're watching, I'm about to run out if you want to hook me up. I need some extra creatine. I use their pre-workout. Alex loves their greens, and I only say that because I like sweet. Their protein is a little bit too sweet for Alex. She likes the vanilla. That one's not as sweet as like some of the other ones out there. But Alex loves the greens. I use the Sleepy all the time when I'm trying to get a good night's rest. But some of their new products that they just launched, this brand new fat burner, it's powerful. So I recommend maybe doing like a quarter of a scoop, a half a scoop, but you will lose weight. Any type of pre-workout to get the most out of your workout. And then when you do work out, like think about how hard it is sometimes to go get that workout in. When you're done, you might as well take care of your body the best way humanly possible, and that's doing some BCAAs, that's taking some of the protein. That way when you get done working out, you're not sore and you're not feeling like a piece of crap after that workout. So, huge shout out to pandasups.com. Also, if anybody spends over $100, when you use code FKC, they're also going to throw in this bag and that shaker, no additional cost. But you have to be in the United States in order to get that deal. Let's go now to the defensive side of the football, and we are live right now. It is my birthday special. I believe my dad just got here, so that's why if you could text somebody to let him in. Let's go to the edge position now here on this one. And this is, again, I'm not afraid to spend money on edge. I'm not afraid to spend money on defensive tackle because I know what Patrick Mahomes and every quarterback, even Tom Brady's kryptonite was. If you can get pressure by bringing 4, you're going to have a lot of success. So the name that I believe is the best value free agent out there, this might surprise you, is K'Lavon Chaisson. And I'm going to go with K'Lavon Chaisson because he's only 25, 26 years old, coming off a career best year with Rob Leonard, had 5 sacks, was a former first-round pick, so you know he's got some upside. But the reason why I'm going to put K'Lavon Chaisson here, it's because if it was up to me, I'm going to go out and I'm going to add a big-name edge. I want a Josh Sweat. I want somebody that I'm okay paying $17, $18, $19, $20 million to, put them on the other side, but then I also want at least another edge next to them. For me, if we're going to lose Malcolm Koonce and K'Lavon Chaisson, how can we bring back, in a sense, like both of those players? If you told me I got to pay Josh Sweat $20 million and I got to go pay K'Lavon Chaisson $3.4, it's easy money. I also think it's easy money because the short sample size of how much better K'Lavon was the moment he stepped into Vegas compared to the end of the season, we got to be honest with ourselves. He was much better of a player, and he looked like a lot different of a player. I don't know if he's ever going to be that first-round type of talent, but if you give Chaisson an entire offseason to work with Rob Leonard and he gets better and better, I think that you could have a player that could get 7 to 8 sacks this upcoming season. Here are some other, though, top edges for the Raiders that, again, I want them to go out and sign a top guy like Josh Sweat. Malcolm Koonce's value is $20 million. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near that. I'm going to just say he's going to be somewhere around 12 to 11 mil. But you could look at an Azeez Ojulari, a K'Lavon Chaisson at 3.4, a Joseph Asai. He was an edge who kind of reminded me, honestly, of Azeez that I liked a lot. Joseph, I thought, would be a good pairing with Patrick Graham. Lorenzo Carter, he was a stud with Patrick Graham back in his New York Giant days. Fell off a cliff here a little bit for Atlanta. But go out and sign a Josh Sweat. Go out and get a K'Lavon Chaisson. Go out and sign a Joseph Asai. That's 3 solid edge rushers that you're going to be able to bring in at about $25 million. That's how good teams are made. It's winning in the trenches, being able to get after the quarterback. Let's then go to the middle guy in the middle. Weird. Defensive tackle. And this is a big one, and I'm not afraid to spend some money on this one either, but I love a lot of the defensive tackles in the draft, and there's also a player that I want the Raiders to bring back, and his name is Adam Butler. If you told me right now you can get Adam Butler back at $2.9 million, there's not a better defensive tackle on the market for the Raiders, coming off a career-high 65 tackles, and I actually think that he's not getting the love that he deserves because PFF, for whatever reason, doesn't appreciate what Adam Butler brings to the table. He was legitimately one of the most underappreciated Raiders and one of the most underappreciated players in the NFL last season. And what's great about him is he can get after the quarterback. He frees up Wilkins. He frees up Max Crosby. He frees up whoever that other edge rusher is. Maybe Tyree Wilson takes that next step. But Crosby wants chemistry. He's got chemistry with Wilkins. He's got chemistry with Crosby. He's got chemistry already with this coaching staff. At 30 years old, he's missed only 2 games in his 7-year career, and he had a career-high 65 tackles and 16 starts in 2024. If you want to look at some other position players at defensive tackle and how much it's going to cost, Calais Campbell, I almost thought about putting on this list because he is continuously a top 5 defensive tackle every single year, and because he's 38 years old, people just are afraid to pay him. Calais, I'd pay you that. Poona Ford at 3.5, I think is a good value. BJ Hill, 9.0. To me, Adam Butler is almost just as good as what B.J. Hill is going to be able to give you, and you're getting it at a significantly discounted rate. We got 3 more positions to get to here on the Raiders Report for my best value free agents for Pete Carroll and John Spytek. And if anybody ever wants to interact with me on social media or when we do these live shows, hit me up, add me as a friend on Venmo at MitchellRenz365. No matter what, though, if you're looking for content from me, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I don't care where it is, at MitchellRenz365. If you can't find me, it's because you don't want to find me. Let's go to the linebacker position right now, and it is Bobby Wagner. And Bobby Wagner, to me, is one of the best linebackers still in the NFL. According to PFF, was the 3rd best linebacker last season. He had over 132 tackles, but I like this value here is because not only are you getting an outstanding linebacker still, you're also getting somebody that knows Pete Carroll and knows the, kind of the locker room vibe that he's trying to build. Also, Bobby Wagner was phenomenal this past season with the Washington Commanders with, guess who? Dan Quinn. I almost said Gus Bradley. Dan Quinn was an old defensive coordinator underneath Pete Carroll. So in my mind, if Bobby Wagner can kind of still play at a high level in that regime, why is he not going to be able to play at a high level with our regime? Over 100 tackles in every year of his 13-year career. Father Time is undefeated. But until I see Wagner just be, just great. I mean, he's amazing right now. When he goes to just playing good, then we could start being a little bit more concerned. But this guy won a Super Bowl. He's been an absolute dog. He hasn't missed a game since 2018. And if I'm the Raiders, then let's say you miss out on a Robert Spillane. Because Robert Spillane, when you look at his contract's 10.4. And I want Las Vegas to bring back Spo. He's critical to this defense. But a Bobby Wagner and Robert Spillane at linebacker, the 2 linebackers set, and then you let them go out with some extra DBs, maybe an extra safety. That's an interesting from top to bottom. Jamian Sherwood is also another player that he was a safety converted to linebacker. Could be fun, little mix and match if they're looking for another Cam Chancellor. Let's go to the cornerback position here on the show, and I'm going to go with a DJ Reed. Hang on, I need a quick little sip here of water. And I'm going to go with DJ Reed, and I'm okay spending a little bit extra money at the cornerback position because this is a big-time need for the Raiders. But I also look at it as 2 for the price of 1. Mitch, what do you mean by that? The Raiders are going to move on more than likely from Jack Jones, and right now Nate Hobbs is on the open market. DJ Reed could play on the outside. DJ Reed could play on the inside, and the fact that you're able to do that at the price of just 1 player, I like that a lot. He also played underneath Pete Carroll from 2020 to 2021. And yes, $14.7 million is a little bit more than what I'm spending at some of these other positions. But then also when you look at the quality of cornerback for what you're going to pay, I don't want to pay a type of corner $7 to $8 million. I'd rather spend that extra money and get a reliable corner in DJ Reed. I mean, look at some of these prices for some of these top guys out on the market. Carlton Davis is a stud, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy. Paulson Adebo, I do think fits with our new cornerback coach, but he's a little bit up there in price. Excuse me. Nate Hobbs at $2.9 million. I just imagine Nate's going to get more than that. I mean, sure, if you told me right now I can get Nate Hobbs for $2.9 million, I would take that in a heartbeat, but DJ Reed is a good corner, and it's a good value considering what some of these other players could potentially get on the open market. Now let's go to safety, and this is another one that I was trying to figure out where to go, and I know the Raiders are going to be without Trevon Merrick, without Marcus Epps. To me, the safety that I like the most, and for some of the same reasons that I mentioned in there with Bobby Wagner, it's Jeremy Chinn. And Chinn this past season played with the Washington Commanders in a Dan Quinn style of defense. And I know how critical having the right safety is in a Dan Quinn defense, but it's also very critical in Pete Carroll's defenses. It's also very critical in Patrick Graham's defenses. And one of my favorite players that I can remember in PG's defenses a few years ago was a Julian Love, a Jabril Peppers. And I think that Jeremy Chinn could kind of be that style of player who's physical, can play up near the box. He can drop back. I would rather Trevon Merrick probably be that role where you find a little bit more of a true center field safety. But the versatility that that Chin's going to be able to give you, and he had a pretty solid year last season with Washington with over 117 tackles. That Swiss Army knife is why you go out and get him, and you're going to be able to get him at 6.1 mil. For anybody that liked Marcus Epps, you would also like what Jeremy Chin's going to be able to bring to the table. Chin's a bigger player than what Epps was, but the physicality and that style is what he's going to be able to bring, and he's going to try to go out there and set the tone. So here one more time are my best value free agents for the Las Vegas Raiders, and if you take all these contracts according to Spotrac, it's going to put you at 60.9, it's almost nice, amount of money. But at 60.9 million, think about how many of these players are solid players for overall depth, and a lot of these guys also could be potential starters for this team. So hypothetically, if the Raiders right now have about $100 million in salary cap space, I also did an entire video, and that video, if you haven't seen it yet, is very realistic on how Las Vegas can create $40 million in salary cap space. So you would be able to do another $40 million after that $60 million, and you could still have $80 million to spend in salary cap if you do those 10 players that I said that you should end up bringing in. Building depth is important, and I know the Raiders have a lot of money, but I don't want to just be going out there writing blank checks. I want to go out and find good value players to build this team from top to bottom. All right, y'all, name one free agent that the Raiders should sign this offseason. We got a mailbag coming up here on today's show. My dad did just get here, so I want to get through this mailbag, and then I want to get into the shit show here on the Raiders Report. You dropped it. I got you. I got you. Also, I'm sorry that I was coughing in that one. I don't know what the hell happened. Sometimes when I yell loud, Also, Dad, if you want to, sit in a chair and not on the ladder, you're more than welcome. What? Just move. That's my coat. You're good. I mean, I'm not. He picked the ladder to sit on instead of a chair. That's kind of crazy. We could put you to work real quick. Could put you to work here real quick. Yeah, he probably could, honestly. Rebel, my dad does the same. Frank Rivas says Nick Bolton, Travarius Ward from Carlo Fernandez. I see a Javon Holland in there. I would love for the Raiders to go out and get Javon Holland. Like, if you told me if you're unable to bring back Trevon Merrick, you get a center fielder in Javon Holland, and then you go get a strong safety like Jeremy Chin, I'm on board for that. Absolutely. Justin Fields from Big Papa. I see DJ Reed from Def Halo. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to get into a mailbag, and I want all of these questions to be around free agency or trades, and that is it. Free agency or trades. That is it. Then, after that mailbag, we will turn this into a happy hour and an absolute shit show. How you feeling? Feeling pretty good? Yeah? You want to say hi? Well, I was going to say you could say hi up here, but we can wait. Looks a little different here, doesn't it? Looks a little bit different. Oh, man. CGCR says shit show. Oh, it's going to be a shit show. Somebody did ask Mitch, what's the duck race at right now? Right now, as it stands, reminder, it's a $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365 to get in the duck race. Right now, the people that are in, I see Mark Bates. You're in. Yoda Jenkins is in. 93 Navman, you in. Faluhi in. LCA in. Justin Soul in. Sean Irish, you in. Elijah Johnson in, and then I'm going to put Mitch in, and my dad is in. So it is a $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365 right now for a chance to win. $100. Though, actually, now that I'm looking at it, Sean, I'm going to give you another spot. Ian. I got you. Appreciate you, Sean. Timmy Jones is in. And then LA Crash Dog is in. 20 to win, $130 here on the Raiders Report. Now, we still have 760 people watching. We did cross 400 likes, and I appreciate that. I would like to be able to get to 500 likes. That's kind of like a good benchmark for us. After this mailbag, again, I want people that watch the show, like I want people who watch this show with their kids to be able to watch this show with their kids, right? Like, I can remember my dad and I sitting at the dinner table. We used to watch this show called Smart Guy all the time, and it, has a very special place in my heart. But, I want people to be able to watch this show with their kids, but also at the same time, after this mailbag, it's going to get, it's going to get weird here. If you would invite your kid into a restaurant that allows drinking, some would call it a bar, then you're going to be fine. If you're like, no, I don't really want to do that, then it's all good. I'm just going to give you a warning ahead of time. But in about 20 minutes, this shit's going to get weird. What do you got for me? Okay, sounds good. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to roll through some supers that aren't going to make the mailbag because they're more about my birthday, and the mailbag's not going to go out on my birthday. Let's go to Nabman, celebrating the Pisces for the next 30 days. 14 March for me. So his birthday is March 14th. I have homemade broccoli cheese, chicken soup, grilled cheese. The missus kills that soup. Dude, I'll tell you this right now. Good grilled cheese is hard to beat. Like, you get a good grilled cheese, that's some good home cooking. Though, if I eat a grilled cheese, it has to be with tomato soup. Let's go to O'Neal. Happy birthday, Mitch. Cheers. And can I get a Raiders? O'Neal, cheers to you. Oscar, happy birthday, Mitch. Thank you very much to the captain. Rebel, 31, hello, 32. I believe in Joe Hendry. I'll get it sooner or later. I still, don't. It doesn't recognize in my mind every time. Joe Hendry. Because I'm trying to figure out who the hell it is. But it's the wrestler. I'll get it. Sooner or later, I'll get it, Rebel. I don't know when, but sooner or later, I will. You have my words. And then it will be time to get in to the mailbag, where we'll talk about today's deals. We'll talk about everything that we got going on. Got some fun games planned for my dad. He doesn't even know what we're planning on doing today. And I don't even know if you're going to say yes to what I have planned for you. But I hope the answer is yes. Do you trust me? Then we're good. He said always. Then we're good. All right, so coming up here, we're going to get into a mailbag. And reminder, I want this free agency. And if you want to throw in a trade question, I'm not going to be mad about it. Obviously, I like trade and free agency, but that's where I want the focus to be on. Trade, free agency. Sound good? You ready? This one's Prize Picks. All right, y'all. Coming up, mailbag time here on the Raiders Report. It's mailbag time here on the Raiders Report. I'm Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report, and all these questions were answered during my live birthday segment on February 20th. Reminder, all of these questions are going to be around free agency or trades, and everything that you see is from our loyal subscribers here on the Raiders Report. First one's coming in from our man, 93, or is it going to be OG? One of the people are going to be getting a question in here, and it's going to be, again, anything you got for me. This one's coming in from Navman. If you look at the salary cap increase, we could end up with Malcolm and Josh Sweat. Save 40 on cuts, extra 22 total under the cap equals 153 mil. I like it. I do know the Raiders can create a lot of salary cap space, and they have plenty of money to go out and get Josh Sweat and Malcolm Kuntz. The problem is, though, I'm not going to pay Malcolm 20 mil, and I'm also not going to pay Josh Sweat 20 mil. Because to me, you got to be able to make a decision. You're only going to go out and get one of those guys. Like, I would rather the Raiders sign Josh Sweat and then go get a Joseph Asai, go out and get a Caleb Von Chasen, go out and get a Lorenzo Carter, where all those three names that I just said, you combined all three of those, and that's going to be less than 10 mil. If Malcolm, we can get him for less than 12, I'm interested. If there's a team, though, that gives Malcolm, honestly, $15 million per year and above, I would be shocked, because I really think the only team that's going to even consider it would be the team that he played for with the Raiders. Let's go to Press Rodriguez. Can you go in depth on Mad Max guaranteed money? He has 2 years left. He ain't playing for free. So the details around Max Crosby, which, Preston, I've actually done multiple videos way more in depth on Crosby's contract, where I project him to get a 3-year and like a 5-year essentially. but he's got $0 million left on his guaranteed, or he's got $0 million guaranteed left on his contract, and he just wants a new deal. He wants an extension or he wants some sort of a reworked deal. The way that the Rams kind of did their contract with Aaron Donald a few years ago where they just gave him 3 years, it was fully guaranteed. That's kind of what you're looking for Max, and he's going to be somewhere around that $30 to $35 million per year range. Let's go a little flapjack. Also important, if you don't get that new contract with Crosby, he's gone. No new contract, no Crosby. Little flapjack, F it, sign Darnold, Jameis Winston, Drew Lock, Flacco, and keep AOC. Start them randomly one and hope it's the week that they play like 07 Brady. I mean, that is the ultimate YOLO idea. The problem is, that might be all your salary cap space. I'm kidding. It wouldn't be, but it would be way too much on a quarterback. Pick one. If you're telling me I got to pick out of all those names, it's Sam Darnold, and it's not even close. Let's go to Melly. What up, Melly? Would you trade back from 6 for an extra second or third? I guess it depends. I mean, if I'm going from 6 all the way down to if I'm going from 6 outside of the top 10, I want another first-round pick. And I know that this year is a little bit lower in terms of what draft value is at, but I still want some extra picks. I'm okay with the idea of the Raiders adding extra draft capital. In fact, I'm thinking about doing a mock draft around it. But if your guy isn't there at 6, then sure, you can move back. But if Mason Graham's there at 6, take him. Abdul Carter, I'm taking him. Will Johnson, I would entertain that idea. There's a lot of good players that could be available to the Raiders, though, at pick number 6. Let's go to King Shav. We need to sign Aaron Rodgers. It depends on what the money is. And I've seen some people, say, the Raiders could get Aaron Rodgers at $1.2 million, just like the way that, it happened last year with Russell Wilson. Contracts are totally different. It's not like that at all. I would imagine that Rodgers, if he's signed with the Raiders, is probably going to be looking for $20 to $30 million per year. I'm not interested in Aaron Rodgers at $20 to $30 million. And I know that he had some good games, but they also had some clankers in that mix as well. If Aaron Rodgers is willing to prove to me that he's not going to be selfish and he can put the Raiders ahead of them, well, then if Rodgers is willing to pay or play at anything, I would say right now at the vet min, 1.2, because he has been a cancer. You can't deny that he hasn't been a cancer on the New York Jets. You just can't deny it. So because of that, I want him at 1.2. If he's not willing to play at 1.2, then he's not willing to be a team player, and that's what I want. The Raiders over Aaron Rodgers. Lord Cameron, trade for DK Metcalf. It's interesting what it would cost to go out and get DK, and I've thrown out some ideas before of what I think it could cost, but I always try to give you guys a different answer of what I think it could cost. And Metcalf is talented, right? He's got a lot of connections with Pete Carroll. Let's say this. The Raiders get DK Metcalf, and they also get a 7th-round pick. The biggest need right now for Seattle is center, so let's throw in Andre James, and let's just throw in the pick that we got from Devontae Adams, a 3rd, which I don't know if you can make that real quick. That way I can kind of see what it looks like from the jump. So the Raiders would get DK Metcalf. You get a 7th-round pick, which is, 236 for Seattle, it looks like. And then Seattle's going to get a 3rd-round pick, and they go get Andre James. But when you look at some of the biggest needs that the Seahawks have, it's center. They got to be able to go out and find a center. I want the Raiders to be able to move on from Andre. You're going to eat probably 3. You save $5 million, you eat 3. And if you go out and trade for DK, you're also going to have to pay him a brand new contract at 28 years old. So would you do this trade? I just randomly thought of it. Let's see what you guys think. Should the Raiders make this deal? DK and a 7th rounder to Seattle for a 3rd-round pick and Andre James. Should the Raiders do this trade? Give me a yes. Give me a no. My answer right after this YouTube ad break. After looking at it closely, this is a trade that I would do. The fact that you're able to move on from Andre James is key. It saves you a little bit of money. But also on top of that, you're getting a 28-year-old receiver that fits exactly what you're looking for. Physical, field stretcher, has the chemistry with Pete Carroll, and you're kind of flipping Devontae Adams for DK, and you're able to get it at a much cheaper rate. And I would say right now, Metcalf in this offense is a better fit and a better player than Devontae Adams, what he would have been in this current offense. If you guys don't already know, we're a family here on the Raiders Report, and anytime that they do something, I will pump out a video. It's my birthday at the time that I'm making this show, and honestly, if you want to have a, if you didn't get me anything, which it's okay if you didn't, hit that subscribe button. But if the Raiders make a trade, if they do anything big, especially if they trade for DK Metcalf, I promise you this, I'm going to be going live for a very long time on this channel, and I don't want you to miss it. What's up, Lamont? What I miss, and is Shador better than Fields? I think it depends what type of offense you want to run. Where if you're going to be more of a run-first style of offense, Justin Fields isn't a bad option, but I also don't think that bringing in both of these guys is a bad option. You can get Justin Fields at a cheap discounted rate. You let Shador Sanders learn for a year or two underneath Fields, and you let Shador learn this Chip Kelly system. This is the best bang for your buck option, arguably, for the Raiders if they don't have to take Shador at number 6. Because I also then, if you sign Justin Fields, I want them to invest in that offensive line. And again, I don't know what it exactly looks like, but Shador's got to learn for at least a year, maybe 2 in the NFL. Raider Tone, what up, man? Holland and Merrick. Holland and Merrick, to me, would be my dream safety duo for the Raiders, and it's going to cost you some money. Merrick's projected at about 15.7. Holland's projected at 15.1. Yes, $30 million combined for your safeties is a lot of money, but combining your safeties who are both 26 years old, and Merrick can be that Swiss Army knife guy, Holland can be that true center fielder. You combine both of those dudes for the next 3 to 4 years. And reminder, with the salary cap going up, that's important. But I also did a show earlier this week about TV right deals and how in 2028, 2029, for teams that are aggressive, you can give these bigger time contracts, and then it's going to be easier to pay some of those deals in the 4th year, in the 5th year. Because the only way you're going to do this is if you look at Holland and Merrick and go, I want both of y'all to be our safeties for the next 3 to 5 years, and it's kind of a package deal. We got more questions coming up here in just a moment. Before I get into it, though, a huge shout out to our sponsor, Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app out there. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Just make sure that you use code CLNS. There's a reason why Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Funny enough, when you win, you can actually get your money in less than 15 minutes, which is one of the reasons why I love Prize Picks. I know football season is over, but basketball is here. Hockey is really electric right now. And no matter what, if you plan on sitting down for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and you're going to watch an event, if you put a little bit of money down, you're going to be locked in. You can get $50 when you play $5 at prizepicks.com/CLNS. So if you're watching right now and you're trying to run your game, here's maybe a lineup that you can go with. And what I love about baseball, I'm not somebody that's going to sit down and watch every single baseball game. It's just not going to be me. But I do try to follow along and see what happens. If you want to do season long on Prize Picks, you can also do that, which they have season long for football as well. If you want to look at some season long ones for the Raiders. If anybody's trying to play, this is our baseball guy here at Chat Sports, Jack's season long Prize Picks lineup. A lot of mores, and if you're trying to put some money in your pocket, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, pick 2 or more players, choose more or less. It's really that simple, and watch the winnings roll in. Prizepicks.com/CLNS, just make sure that you use code CLNS. Let's keep it rolling here on the Raiders Report. Reminder again, all these questions are from our live show on February 20th. What up, Michael? Sign Kuntz at 20 or trade for Garrett at $34 million. Oh, boy. I'm not going to lie, and I can't even believe I'm about to say this. I probably signed Malcolm Kuntz at 20 because I don't have to give up 2 first-round picks for Myles Garrett. I do really believe that whatever team trades for Garrett, they're going to give up 2 first-round picks. And I don't want to give up pick 6 this year, and I don't want to have to give up a first-round pick in 2026 in case the Raiders do need a quarterback. So because of that, I guess I'm going to sign Malcolm Kuntz at $20 million, but it does make me feel a little bit icky. I'm not going to lie. Let's go to Charles Taylor. You can only bring back one, Hunter Renfrow or Mac Hollins. I mean, it's Mac Hollins, and it's not close. I tried to tell people that Hunter Renfrow was done way before anybody else, I think, thought he was done. And I know how much we all loved Renfrow, and it was a player that, you just went out there and you rooted for. But just like we always say, sometimes you just got to be able to move on. He's not the player that y'all think he is. He's not healthy. He's been banged up. Those concussions really slowed him down. And on the type of offense that this team's trying to run, it's Mac Hollins. If you told me Mac Hollins at 2.4 or Hunter Renfrow at 1.2, I'm going to take Mac Hollins at his market value at 2.4. There's a reason why Renfrow didn't play last season, y'all. Let's go to Nabman. Appreciate the happy birthday wish. He's talking about Najee Harris. To me, you're not going to put Najee at fullback. That doesn't make any sense to me. He's not a fullback. I just don't think he's good enough he's not good enough as a full-time blocker to only be a fullback. He catches the football a lot better, but at $9.2 million, he's a good back. He's going to be one of the guys that the Raiders look at. I know that for a fact. But at the exact same time, if you are going to find a running back, I agree with you where you got to be able to give him an incentive-based deal. Mario, sign Calais Campbell. I'm on board with it, dude. I think he's one of the best bang for your value picks year in and year out. I know Father Time is undefeated, but until Father Time starts slowing down Calais Campbell, you got to be interested in him, right? If you're unable to bring back Adam Butler and you're looking for a defensive tackle that you can put in the middle on like a 1, maybe 2-year deal, it's probably going to be a 1-year deal because he's 38 years old. He has consistently been one of the best defensive tackles in the National Football League year in and year out. He just doesn't get paid because he's 38, and every year people are like, this is going to be the year that he falls off. Even if he falls off a little bit, he's still a damn good defensive tackle. What's up, Rebel? You saw the drama on X regarding Richie Incognito. I did. It's very, very interesting. And quite frankly, it sounds like it is true. I mean, the guy came out and literally said that it's true. So it's really effed up on his part. And if I was Richie Incognito, I would sue the shit out of him, quite frankly. Let's go to Carlo D. Fernandez. How many players can the Raiders franchise tag? You're only allowed to franchise tag one player, but they're not going to franchise tag any players. It doesn't make sense. There's not a single player on this Las Vegas Raiders roster that's about to hit the open market that it makes any sense to franchise tag. There's not a single one because there's not a single player on the Raiders hitting the open market that is a top 5 player at that position, and that's what you'd have to pay him. Top 5 money at that position. JJ, would you want the Raiders to sign Nick Chubb? If you told me I could get the Nick Chubb before the knee injury, yeah. Problem is he's just different. And it's sad because I love the runner that Chubb is. But if you watched any Browns games last season, he's clearly lost the step, and that knee injury has just zapped him of what made Nick Chubb really special. He's going to get an extra offseason. He's going to be cheap. I mean, you're talking like a $3 million deal. So should the Raiders sign Nick Chubb, let's say it's $3 million, give me a yes, give me a no. I can't wait to see some of those answers down below. Let's go to Gilbert. Russell Wilson at quarterback. Depends what the price tag is. Again, there was a really big report from one of Mike Tomlin's best friends, Jay Glazer, and Glazer flat out said, no chance Russell Wilson's going to go to the Raiders, which I find to be a little bit interesting. But at the same time, if you told me which quarterback out of all the free agent QBs do I think is the worst fit with Chip Kelly, I would say it's Russell Wilson. The Chip Kelly offense with the skill set that Wilson has, I would say it would be the worst fit based on what we've seen. Now, again, maybe Kelly could switch up a few things here and there, but why would you pay Russell Wilson $38 million when you could pay Sam Darnold $40 million? Like, if we're going to pay that much money, just go pay Sam Darnold. Or you could pay Justin Fields, even if, $10, $12 million. I'd rather have Justin Fields at that type of price tag. Let's go to Raider Rob. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. Hello to my dad. A.J. Brown, Asante Samuel, thoughts? Well, you'd have to trade for A.J. Brown. Asante Samuel Jr., which he's a free agent. Yeah, if it's Asante Samuel, he's been retired a while. Asante Samuel, I could wrap my mind around the Raiders trying to bring him in. Good slot corner. To me, though, Asante Samuel Jr. is probably going to cost you $13, $14, $15 million, and maybe I'm wrong in that number, but that's what his Spotrac market value is. And if I'm going to spend that much money, I'd rather just go spend it on DJ Reed, play him on the outside, or just go spend some of that extra money and find an outside corner and then just bring back Nate Hobbs at much cheaper of a discounted rate. Asante Samuel's a hell of a player. Like, there's a reason why he's stuck around in the league and he's been on so many different, regimes, if you will. It's because he's a really good player. He's a feisty player. He's kind of a player that I think Amik Robertson could potentially turn into down the road. Let's go to trade back in the draft with the Cowboys for a second, third, and a first in 2026. So where are the Cowboys even picking? So they're at 11 or 12. I mean, real talk, I don't even think the Cowboys would do this. I don't think they're going to give up their first 3 picks next year. And I say that just because that's what I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know why the Cowboys would trade up, because the only way that you're trading up this much is for a QB. And Dak's not going anywhere from what I understand. Def, sign Aaron Jones and draft Trevion Henderson. This is a good idea. If I'm Las Vegas, you spend about $6 million on Aaron Jones. You draft Trevion Henderson in the 3rd round. Though, I am worried that Henderson gets taken in the 2nd round. I even saw a mock draft the other day from somebody that I think is smart, had him going in round 1. And he's going to be a player of stock who's going to continue to go up and up and up, which we'll see how that ends up going. But I like that duo if that's the type of mindset that you're going to go out and get. Sign a running back, draft a running back. I like that idea a lot. If I did not get to your question, I apologize. You can always hit me up on Instagram or on Twitter at MitchellRenz365. I will warn you, I got a lot of family in town this weekend, so I'm not going to be doing as much stuff on social media as I usually am. But just know it's the off season, and I'm always down to answer questions when I get some free time. What up, Nab Man? Check this out. Coach has long arms, relationship throughout the league. I suspect Pete will get what he wants. You think? DK, easy day on, friendly deal. If nobody leaves, Marshawn will have a say in the running back. That's delusional, just saying. I think you're delusional for thinking Marshawn Lynch is going to have a say at the running back position.
Yeah, I mean,
quite frankly,
somebody who's not on the staff or team, like that's kind of wild.
To be honest, that's a delusional thought that you think Marshawn's going to have a say in what the Raiders do.
That's like you being like, oh, Donald Pinn's going to decide the future of Colton Miller.
Richie Incognito is going to have a say in what the Raiders do on the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean,
not going to happen.
Marshawn's not even known for he played with the Raiders for a year. He's not even known as a Raider.
Well, he's like friends with Carroll.
Well, I get that.
He was at Pete Carroll's press conference. He was the guy that yelled Raiders. I get it. I get the connection.
I get the thought.
Not going to happen.
I
didn't say that. I just said you're delusional. Your words.
I could see where, Pete asks him, going, "Oh, what do you think about the running backs in this class? Like,
Sure.
What are your thoughts?"
Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hey.
Thank you.
We were going to put Eat Shit Tyler on it, but we decided not to.
I could see that, but saying that, if Marshawn has a say, it's at less than 1%.
Yeah, probably.
It's at 0.5% of, do you think this guy's good?
Yeah.
No?
I mean,
okay, we'll still draft him. Yes.
I think I have just as much say as Marshawn Lynch, because I know for a fact Mark Davis watches this show. And if Mark were to come across this show, he'd be like, oh, I'm my point is I don't have a lot to say, and I know that, and I know Marshawn's not going to have a lot to say either. All right, y'all. You guys ready for a little happy hour? You ready for a little happy hour?
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys ready for a little happy hour? If you're ready to get happy hour started, I want to see some HBDs down below. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through all the deals here on today's show. I'm going to tell you why you should have a lot of fun. Can you change that last one to 2 bangs equals the hat?
Yep.
Like we talked? Yep. We got a few people that are getting in the duck race, which I see Marcus, you in. I also see Viseth. Hopefully I pronounced that right. You in. So right now it's $20 Venmo to win $150 here on today's show. So if anybody has ever watched some of our Thursday night football streams, that's kind of how we're going to do this show coming up here, where we're going to play some games. I want to answer a lot of questions, so please, hashtag Raiders or Super Chat to get those questions, comments on the show. I am going to introduce you guys to my dad here in just a moment once we go through these deals, and I'm going to tell you how you can make my dad a very happy man today. There's probably only a few people that saw him do.
He said we can ask you anything.
Anything. You guys can ask my dad anything. It can be about me.
You're cool with that. Anything.
Anything. You don't have to answer, but you can ask him anything. So here are today's happy hour deals. If you want to get in the duck race, $20 Venmo. $50 super chat or a $50 Venmo is a gross jelly bean for me and my dad.
Ew.
So you've seen us do these Bean Boozled. You get to try them today. Yes.
All right.
So you've eaten like you're somebody that eats just about anything. Just about anything. So I want to see how you react to some of these.
I want to see him try the liver and onions.
He loves liver and onions.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm worried. Also, if anybody wants, and we've already had a few people today bang at least once, if anybody bangs twice here on today's show, you get yourself a Raiders Report hat. So if you do bang twice, Venmo me $1 at least. That way I can get your first, last name, shipping address, because I just don't want to miss you. Okay? Makes
Blinky.
sense? What's up, Blink? Oh, wait. You know what else we got to do? We got to show him how to make my dad a happy dude. So real quick here, Dad. Pull up here. You can put this on. Yep, get up. I got you. On. Adjust that how you need it. Jeremy's falls a little bit. So I love the outfit, first off. For those of you that don't know, this is my dad. He's got his Raider stuff on. Your mic. Yikes. We're falling down a little bit with the mic. It's going to fall down. It's all good. So, Dad, a few years ago, you were on this show, and it was the Raiders against the Cowboys. Thanksgiving. Do you remember what you did on that show? Yes, it is. So today, Jeremy bought me a birthday cake. It's my 69th birthday, apparently. At least that's what the cake says. So today, we are going to do a deal. If y'all want my dad to smash birthday cake in my face like he did back then. See the picture? That's about 3 years ago. We got brand new birthday cake. So if you want this to be recreated this year, here's how we're going to do it. We got to get through 6 steps. We got to get through all 6 steps, and if it happens, the birthday cake to the face is going to happen. You get to do it. So, if you guys want to ask my dad anything, we'll bring him back on when we get some questions. We're going to keep it Raiders related. If you want, I can actually go grab you a drink. Do you want me to go grab you a quick little drink? Yep, sounds good.
Just a beer?
No, I'm gonna go. He wants you want
like
like whiskey? Dad? Yeah, I was gonna say he's not gonna drink Happy Dad or anything. No beer.
He's a man's man.
All right, so
you can leave me and Richie.
You're good? Okay.
All right, we're gonna go through a couple people who sent in some super chats. Real Cowboy says happy birthday, Mitch. How much for a Papa Renz boot? Oh, we have a deal. We do have a deal. Oh no. We have a deal later. Hey, Rich, you are aware of your studness, right? A real stud.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I guess. I don't do beer.
No beer?
No, the walls are green enough.
Oh. Let me try to get you up a little. There you go. I'm gonna try to get you up a little bit. Here we got cruising. Here you go. I started the bang. I'll start the beans. Oh, well, Killa, it's $50 for a bean, but you know what? I won't tell Mitch. If you send in another 20, we'll count it even. We'll count it even because I actually do want to see you and Mitch eat some of those nasty beans. Yes. I think the mic is messing up. I'll fix it once Mitch gets back in. We also have Rustin Long coming in saying, happy birthday, Mitch. My girlfriend Casey shares the same birthday as you, and she says, hi. Hope you have the best day. Raider Nation for life. Real one for life. Rustin, you actually met Rustin in North Carolina.
Yes.
Well, not the best night. That was a rough night for Rustin, but the beginning was awesome.
Yes. That was a very memorable evening.
Oh, it was awesome. The North Carolina trip. I think that's Mitch's phone, right? There we go. If you just want to put on Mitch's mic right now, The one I gave you, it's not working right now, so yeah, we'll just switch it out here in a second. Oh, yeah, like father, like son. There we go.
Any better?
Oh, yeah, now I hear you crystal clear. Rich, while we have you here, Mitch isn't in here. I know we've asked you, like, embarrassing stories, stuff like that before. I want to ask you this in front of all 700 people. We've had the raw milk debate.
Yeah.
How, like, do you still drink raw milk? Do you still drink milk straight out of the cow?
Haven't in a few years, but many times have.
Let me know. Y for yes and for no. Have you ever had, would you say that's raw milk? Raw milk? Mine wasn't working. I gotta fix it. I think the cable might be messed up.
Raw milk would be crazy. So what? They can't hear him?
I'm gonna fix it here in a second.
All right, sounds good. All right, y'all. So it is my birthday today. My dad decided to pull up here. You don't have to worry about it. We'll figure it out. We got a few different deals here on today's show, and again, we got some birthday cake out there. Is that gonna work, that drink for you? So I wanna do some normal shenanigans like we do. If you guys want to ask my dad anything, I'm gonna be taking down some beer bongs today. We're gonna be doing some different stuff. Reminder: anybody that bangs twice on today's episode, you're gonna get yourself a Raiders Report hat, and I don't know why. The alarm just went off. You know why? I was born. So 4:39 Eastern, 3:39 now. So for those that don't know, the alarm that just went off is when I was born. So I was born on 4:39 p.m. Eastern time. That's when I was born. I was like thinking to myself, I like looked down and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that the alarm went off. We could try to get a different one. Navman! Bang! What is up, my man? Navman. Okay. What is up, frickin' Navman? Yeah, see, I got
Navman.
I just don't think that this one works. Yeah, it's not picking up anything. What about now? Barely. No, it's actually.
All right, here, take this one back.
Last one. What about now? Barely? I mean, I can see that it's bouncing. All right, yeah. Now we're good. You talk?
Can you hear me?
If you want to get in the 50-50 raffle, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. Holy cow. Sometimes you got to get through some of the ups and some of the downs, and that's going to be a part of it. So every bang, Dad, I need you to just, not a lot. That's all you're getting.
What do you mean?
That's it. That's all you're getting. That one old-fashioned. Because we got some shenanigans going on tonight. And I need you to be good for later. This one's for Navman.
Love Navman.
Navman, cheers to you, my man. Met Rich in North Carolina. Just a first-class OG. Fact, lots of shit to talk about. But Mitch only got a birthday because of his mother. Don't forget that shit, Mitch. Rolls Rich, you're good. Happy birthday, bro. Cheers, man.
Navman, to you. Yeah, that's good.
Do you know what it is?
No.
You want me to tell you?
Go ahead.
Johnny Walker.
Woo.
It's a good one.
Black, blue.
Can't tell you that. That's James's. We stole that from our boss's cabinet. Sorry, James, but thank you very much. All right, let's go to the next one. Coming in here from Ryan Campbell. Bang! Happy birthday. Thank you very much, Mitch. You're the GOAT. Hopefully, we get the opening game versus the Chargers in Brazil. Also, thoughts on free agency coming up. What do you expect the Raiders to sign? So, the Raiders have an opportunity to play that first game in Brazil against the Los Angeles Chargers. They also have an opportunity to play against the Eagles on that Thursday, September 4th. To me, who do I expect the Raiders to sign? I expect the Raiders to sign right away, and I mean this, right away, a quarterback. I'm gonna hope that they're bringing back Robert Spillane. I think they're gonna try to bring back Trevon Merrick. I do think they're gonna try to bring back Adam Butler, and then I would want Mekhi Becton. That's a name to keep in mind. I think Jeremy Chin is going to be another name to keep in mind. Josh Sweat is somebody that I've thrown out there a bunch, but this is going to be a name that I don't think people like. But Sam Darnold is just continuously the name that is just being thrown out there time and time again. So with that bang, we have now passed step one of what it's going to take my dad to kick me, giggity, in the face. Next thing that we need is 2 alley-oops. And for those of you that don't know what an alley-oop is a 50, but here's the fun part. It's also a jelly bean. So every 50 is an alley-oop. It's a jelly bean for my dad and I. If somebody throws it down, that's 1 alley-oop. Somebody else throws up another one, throws it down, that's 2. You're going to see a lot of the numbers of 3 and 2 today because I'm 32 years old. Also, again, I want to be able to get some questions on, so if you see any good hashtag Raiders, I'm going to be able to answer them. For you, if we get any hashtag Richies or hashtag Raiders, that's where I'll bring you back on. But if you want to sit for now,
Okay.
that way we're not kind of blocking, and when I need you, I'll bring you back up. Sound good? Sounds good. And if anybody wants to see me and my dad do a boot race, one of these steps is that. I'll tell you this, though. Your boot is water. It's just water. You don't have to finish it, but it is 36 ounces of water. Mine's beer. His is water. But I figured, hey, if we got Richie here, let's see if we can do a boot. Let's go to Pete from L.A. Richie, what position did you used to... That's hilarious. You want to answer this one? You gotta bring the chair closer. What position did you use to make Mitch?
Oh.
Just too many. Mount Mitchell has never been the same.
Right.
That poor Bush.
I'm going to have to leave that one kind of like...
Well, you got an alley-oop in you?
Yes.
Because that man's coming down the lane. He's going to throw one up. Who's going to slam it down? It's going to be Yoda Jenkins. Bang! But wait, Ira Jackson coming down the lane. Throw it up. Who's going to get Iris? Now, man, alley-oop. Don't be scared. Fire away. Rich Renz is a real one. Let's do this. Now, man, cheers to you, dude.
He is.
He is an absolute legend. And then we got another one from Yoda Jenkins. That was the first alley-oop. I'm going to take my time on some of these. Slamming the dunk for that oop. So the way that I want to do these gross jelly beans. Oh, and you got your hats too? Dude, that's sick, man. Yoda, that's dope. So you don't know the flavors.
Right.
I do. I'm going to let you pick. So for those that don't know, we do these gross jelly beans all the time. Whatever one you pick, I'm also going to pick. Oh, God.
Really?
It's not good, dude. You got your wish.
Is it?
This one's liver and onions.
Nice. Is there mustard?
Or it could be, I think, like chocolate pudding or something like that. You ready? We got another one. We got another one after this.
It's liver and onions.
Is it good?
If it had mustard, it would be okay.
Oh my God, dude. That's bad. There's no way you think that's good. Scale of 1 to 10.
I'm going to give it a 6. It's not bad.
The amount of people that have almost thrown up and eaten that.
Get out.
Not even a flinch. All right. Flick that bean from Ira Jackson. Oh. This is either rotten egg or buttered popcorn. All right, I will warn you, this one's bad.
Okay.
If it's egg,
Look out.
where's your drink?
Right over there.
Go get it just in case. Just, yeah, right there. This is not good, dude. If you want to spit, if you can't eat it and you got to spit it out, I mean, you handled liver and onion almost too well.
Oh, it can't be that bad.
What?
Oh, I thought he was bringing over that tub.
What is happening? All right, you ready?
Yep.
Oh, dude, I'm not ready for this one. This one's bad. Oh my God.
This must be buttered popcorn.
Are you effing me?
It's got to be buttered popcorn.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's unbelievable. I got the rotten egg one. Oh, dude. Oh, God. Liver and onion is very gross. You want to pick the next one? Oh, all right. Chugs is going to pick one. What'd you say?
I've been saved so far.
So far, you've been good. All right, so this is either juicy pear or booger.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep. Nation.
This one's actually not as bad as some of the other bad ones. If it's juicy pear, you got to leave.
I think it's juicy pear.
There's no way.
I think it is. Yeah, no ill effect. Am I getting that lucky?
Yeah, yes.
Wow.
So it's like 1 out of 5.
Okay. So you pick it this time.
Well, apparently I can't pick shit. All right. This is either Tutti Frutti, which for you is probably going to be Tutti Frutti, or dirty dishwater.
Oh, okay.
And it tastes the way dirty dishwater smells. You ready?
Okay.
Here we go.
Nation.
I couldn't do it.
I got Tutti Frutti. I'm telling you.
I just don't believe you at this point. You're telling me that wasn't bad.
I think it was Tutti Frutti all the way.
I mean, that's 3 or 4 in a row.
4. Well, liver and onions, I wanted that.
All right, go. At this point, we got to get a bad one.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, no, honestly. What was that supposed to be?
Dirty dishwater.
What's the other choice?
Tutti Frutti. It was
Yeah,
fruity?
There's no flavor to it.
Now I'm worried about your taste buds.
Well, that could be.
I don't even know what to do. I mean, now I'm just curious.
Yeah, that's got flavor.
That's dead fish.
Yeah. So it is.
That one's making you
Yeah.
sweat a little bit.
Yeah. Oof.
Get rid of that.
Yep.
All right.
Wow.
I'm not going to. Wow, I can smell that. That one's bad.
That was foul.
But that's how they're supposed to be.
Yeah, well, the other ones weren't near that.
All right. I think we're done with the jelly beans for a little while. You all right?
Yeah.
That'll make you sweat.
Wow, I am. Yeah.
What's crazy is I can smell it.
Wow, that was foul.
That one's bad. That's one of those you're going to have to get some mouthwash afterwards. Holy shit. That was funny. I'm not going to lie. I actually can't believe that he got that many. If you need to go get a drink, go get a drink. All right, that's all right. They're bad. That one's bad. That one's bad. I was actually getting concerned that I'm not, like, I was actually getting concerned that your taste buds were just totally shot. That's wild, man. All right, Richie's gonna sit down a little bit. He's gonna take a little time off. What we got next here, and again, Chugs is doing some stuff behind the scenes with some of the chords, so if my audio sounds a little bit weird from time to time, that's the reason. You're good. Papa Renz, was Mitch conceived after or before? Yikes. I don't even know if I want to know that question. Some of these are, huh? The question is, you got to read it, though.
Before.
Oh, God. I don't know what's worse, that answer or your breath right now. Yikes, dude. Get out of here, man. What's funny is he's got to look so close, which I can't read either, but it's sometimes hard to see with all the lights back here, which I know I'm already bad at reading. It gets worse, though, from time to time. It really does. All right, once Chugs. Oh, I got you. All right, we got a few more super chats to get to. Here on today's show. Also, again, if anybody wants my dad to pie me in the face, we got some birthday cake. Chugs was nice enough to go get me a birthday cake this morning, and I saved some. Oh, dude, the cake's awesome. The cake is incredible. It really is. Morty, do you and your dad ever just go and play catch? I mean, now, no, unfortunately. But, I mean, growing up as a kid, no, he's just said every day in the background. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, we would probably play catch, whether it was a baseball or football, every day for at least an hour. Like, when I was a kid, I can remember in my living room, we had this, like, I don't know, it was like a passageway from the living room to, he had like a playroom, right? That's how he would describe it. And I would stand in the living room near our TV, and it was about as long as a Little League mound, about 40 feet. And I would pitch all the time, and he would just sit there. And I think that's honestly why I was a pitcher. But, dude, all the time. Or we would play football in the backyard, and we had we would throw the ball or whatever. But then if I wanted to kick a field goal, we had a power line. And I had to kick the ball over the power line for it to be a good kick. I mean, I was probably sinking, again, little football. I'm a kid. What, 20? I think 20-yard field goal, 10-yard field goal, 15-yard field goal. Yeah, honestly, dude, we played a lot of sports. Like, we always did turkey bowls at Thanksgiving, A lot of wiffle ball tournaments, parents versus kids growing up. That stuff happened all the time. My dad was a big Willie Mays fan. That's why he wore number 24 when he played baseball. Let's go to step number 3 here. If you want my dad to put some cake in my face today, we got to get 32 people to join the duck race, which all that is more money in y'all's pocket for whoever gets the dub. So right now, as it stands, I have 15 people in this duck race, but I also got to add, oh man, we got a lot more people getting in. I see Moshav in. I got Jacob Raya in. Joel Rios, you in. Stanley Holmes, you in. I see Nicholas Potter in. Roger Braun in. Rustin Long in. Matthew Lozano in. Amy, you in. Oh, man, wait a minute here, Chugs. I got to send you something. I got to send you one. If, Dad, honestly, if you want to actually bring your chair, if you don't always want to be on, but, like, you at least want to, like, sit, like, you can sit over here and, like, you're not always going to be on screen, but you can at least, like, talk. And again, and I apologize for it looking a little bit different, and I say that only because we're still doing a lot of construction here at Chat Sports, and we usually have 2 different cameras set up. So usually, like when my dad pulls up to the show, he's got his whole own setup and camera. I have my whole setup, but we are literally still trying to build some stuff out. But right now, as it stands, we have 23. We need 9 more people to enter the duck race, and then we are going to reveal what step 4 is. And I promise you this, step 4 and step 5, you guys are going to want to see what step 4 and step 5 are. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. We are 9 people away from that duck race. But I will refresh. And I just saw one come in from Patrick Roche. Patrick, I am going to put... All right, and then we have this one. No. And then that's an alley-oop. So, this one's rolling in from Roger Braun. Bang! Roger Braun. An absolute freaking legend, man. Where's your drink? Did you put it over there?
Yeah.
You're just all over. I can get it. We're just walking. We're doing, hey, man, you know what? We're letting our hair down here a little bit. We're relaxing. We're having a good time. My dad is in town. For those that don't know, today is my birthday, which I can't even really believe I'm 32 years old. What birthday do you remember maybe as me as a kid growing up that was your favorite?
5.
Why?
All the stuff that went on that particular day, but 5 is a big one.
Here. You yell all the time. Talk normal.
5.
You're whispering.
What did y'all do in your 5th birthday?
This might surprise. I don't remember.
We had family and friends over. A lot of good times, but your 5th birthday party, because of where it was held at and stuff like that, was special.
Where was it?
At our house. But it was because of moving in at the time when we just moved into the house.
The one on Gearhart?
No. The other one. The one there on Mill Street.
5 years old.
Yeah.
We were, dude, no way.
Yeah.
7th grade is the one you're thinking of.
No.
Yep.
Maybe. I don't think so, though.
I mean, we lived on Gearhart Street when I was 5.
That's when we moved.
When?
When you turned 5, we went from Gerhardt Street over to Mill Street.
I don't think you. Do you have any idea where we lived? I'm concerned.
Okay.
It must be. The birthday you're thinking of where everyone was over, that's 7th grade. There's pictures from it. Yeah, dude, that's 7th grade. If I was 5 in 7th grade, I was a flippin' genius.
No.
Wait, believe me, I know I wasn't a genius. No, nobody thinks that I was a genius when it comes to schoolwork. Though Patrick Roche might. Patrick Roche throws one up, and it's an alley-oop. Who is gonna throw it down? Jay Ray says, 2 years younger than me, Mitch. Happy birthday, Jay Ray. Hey, man, cheers to you. How about this? How old is everybody in the chat? It's sometimes a weird question to ask, but I'm down to ask it. Oh, dude, look at the jersey. So Scheffler actually has the jersey on that. Can you go to the picture of my dad pieing me in the face? So John Scheffler was the MVP of our show, and I had a lucky jersey. He's got that jersey on that I wore when my dad pied me in the face last.
That's awesome.
That's really freaking cool, Chef. I actually love that you just did that. Real talk, dude. That's freaking sick. You know what? Let's pour one up for Mount Raider more John Scheffler. Sheffy! Dude, that's legendary. Who? Like my Alex? I was going to say, Alex. It's definitely her. She said, psst. If she sends me a text message when I'm at work and I don't answer it right away, it usually starts out with psst, and by the end it's psst. Lot of pssts. Yep, there's a lot in there. Usually a lot in there. Oh, man. Sheffy. Dude, that's really cool, man. I mean it. That's really cool. Hey, let's keep these questions going. As long as the questions are flowing, we will stay live. I will say this, though. We have to leave we definitely got to be out of here in the hour. By 5 o'clock our time, I have to leave because we have dinner reservations and stuff. But as long as the questions keep flowing, we're going to keep this thing going. So I got to check to see how many people are in the duck race. Let me take this down real quick. Hang on, there's a burp in here. Yikes. That's on me. Raider Muerte sending in the good vibes. What up, Muerte? You know what? I think actually we're going to have enough to move on because I got Brian Baca, you in. Jerry Watson, you in. Randall Carter, in. Raymond Sanchez, you in. No Chili's. Dad, here's my question to you. What's your best sports memory with me as a kid? And that mic, I don't know where you're putting that mic. Unless you're talking out of your eyeball, that needs to come down. Best sports memory, you and me together. Best sports memory.
When you tried out for LVB baseball.
So that would have been, I was like 16 years old. I tried out for Lehigh Valley Baseball Academy. I'm actually surprised you picked that.
No, honestly, it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen that you performed.
So a long story short, I'm not a very big pitcher. And this is a very good baseball academy, if anybody's ever heard of them in the Pennsylvania area. A lot of like D1. A lot of guys actually go, some of the guys that I played with, funny enough, went pro. But the way that they structured the tryout was they put all of their good pitchers first, and then they put all of their schmucks at the end against their top talent. And it was basically a recruiting thing to make the top pitchers look great, the hitters look great, and get them into colleges because these baseball academies, you know, they want to be able to say, like, hey, this guy's going to NC State, this guy's going to Villanova, this guy's going to all these top programs. So they put me at the bottom of the list against some of their top hitters. It was their top of their lineup. And Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think I threw like 10 pitches. I struck out 2 guys, got one guy to ground out, was their leadoff, and their 3-hitter was the coach's, like one of the coach's kids, and I struck him out on literally like 4 pitches, and I was not a fastball pitcher. That was fun. I thought you were going to go with when we won Pennsylvania State champs when we were 10.
No.
The Elks Hoop Shoot?
No. No.
We are still the only Little League, and we are still the only Little League team in Danville history to win 3 straight Little League championships.
Yes.
That's still a fact.
Yeah, but again, the LVBA thing, that performance that you did that day in front of who you did it in front of was mind-blowing.
All right.
Because he kind of like shoved it in their face.
Again,
I mean, honestly,
he
that
did
pitching,
everything I knew he could do times 10.
How much shit were you talking in the stands?
I blew a lot of smoke.
For this to be your favorite, I feel like you were like, suck it. That's my kid.
Well, again,
Well,
I'm a small
my
right
brother's
hand.
wife
At 16,
was sitting next to me.
you know, you're 16 years old, righty. If I was a lefty, I would have played D1 almost anywhere. But you're throwing 85 miles an hour, and again, 85 is not hard, right? It's not. And when you get to that level, it's not. And it felt good because I was more of a off-speed pitcher, but when you have good off-speed pitches and you can throw 85, 85 looks a lot faster. All right, Raymond, you in. Hang on, I see Caden, you in. We got Steven Huerta, you in. Keelan O'Leary. If there's any questions that you want me to ask my dad, let me know down below. Next one coming in. Blaine Craig, you in. Francisco in. Jacob Harvey, you in. All right, so as it stands right now, we have 32 people in this duck race, which means we need 3 bangs for a Chugs versus Cullen boot race. We have been getting asked for weeks. Can we do a Chugs versus Cullen boot race? If you guys get to this, my dad and I boot race after. It's just water. Do you think you could drink 36 ounces of water?
Over a period of time. Yeah,
Richie, how long can you hold your breath?
not long. I smoked for a few years in my life. That killed me.
A few.
Yeah. I've been off of cigarettes for 15 years, but I can't hold my breath very long at all.
No?
No.
You used to be able to hold your breath long?
Years ago.
All right. So funny enough, I'm actually not as good of an athlete, I would say, as what my dad was.
That's a no-brainer there.
Well, let's be patient here.
No, there's no patience.
Thank you, Honey Bun. Thank you very much. Though, you got to put your mic down.
I know that.
Put your mic down. What was your 40 time?
My 40 time, I ran a 4.43 at my best.
4.43.
I
I
could
didn't get that
boogie.
speed.
I could boogie. Yeah, 40, I was good.
That's what they say when white people.
I could buggy. Hunter Renfro's notes back in the day. Good possession receiver, an absolute locker room gym rat, and can boogie. That's a Hunter Renfro statement right there.
Couldn't do 60, couldn't do 100, but 40, look out.
The only reason why I believe him, because don't get me wrong, I'm like, he did play professional baseball.
No, tried out.
You made the team.
I tried out.
You blew out your knee.
Yep, tried out. But anyway, that was the only reason. But 4.43 was the best I ever had.
4.43. That's impressive.
Said if, I better put her up or else, and I didn't want to find the or else.
Yeah, the or else can be scary. And anybody out here that dates a Latina Mexican woman, you hear or else, you just say yes. What's up, Nav Man? Love seeing your pop on here. Happy birthday. Before I say something, if you were conceived before what does that mean? Maybe you had some dents in your head at birth. Only teasing. Found it funny. Send if you're okay with it. Oh, man. I would say if we're going to ask my dad questions, let's ask him things that maybe my grandma would be okay listening to.
Oh, that's limited.
All right, yeah, that's very limited.
I don't know why, but this is what Herman's came up.
Herman, I don't know what type of voodoo magic you're trying to create right now, but this is what we got.
It just says, "Happy birthday, Mitch. Kudos to the most cool Raiders sport post of all time."
Dude, okay, happy birthday, Mitch. Kudos to the most cool rate. Oh, it's because of the
Because he did it in like a different font.
Yeah, I have no idea what font you used, Herman, but obviously our system doesn't like it.
This means a lot.
I agree with every word you said here. I quite frankly, here's my question to you. If I took a screenshot of that, how long for you to handwrite that message? To get it exactly right. That's an hour. That's an hour to handwrite that? Are you kidding me? Yo, man, we've had already a really, really fun and legendary show, and I mean it. Somebody said, is that Korean? I don't know. I don't know if it's Korean. I don't know what it is. Also, we got some breaking NFL news. All-Pro guard Zach Martin has informed the Cowboys he plans to retire. I was expected.
He was never going to sign somewhere else.
Correct.
Either Cowboys or retire.
And I agree with that. But he was, what, 34? He's about 34 years old, I want to say, 35.
First year, crazy stat, first year of his career he was ever put on IR.
Wow. See, I can remember when the Cowboys first got Zach Martin.
I think 11 years.
Wow.
He was the same draft as Johnny Manziel, and that was like 2015.
Yeah.
2014.
Man, saying that's an
Because I was going to say, I thought it was like 20. Because when I lived in Germany, I stayed up until 6 a.m. to watch the Cowboys draft Zeke. And I can remember how great that offensive line was, and that was led by Zach Martin. That draft was 2014. That draft, I believe I was in, or maybe it was 2015 draft. It was 2014 or 2015 draft, Zeke. Actually, it might have been 2016. It's one of those years.
He was drafted in 2014.
I was going to say, I thought it was
The
2014.
Zeke draft was a couple years after. That was
2016 draft was Zeke. Okay, that makes sense. So I was in Germany multiple times, but I can remember, because what I used to do in Germany, and for anybody that lives overseas, if you want to stay up for the draft, like, you got to go somewhere. If you want to watch the draft, you do. You got to go somewhere. So we would go to the bar. You came to Germany with me one time. I don't think I ever took you to the American restaurant that was there. I forget actually what it was called, but we would go at like 3 o'clock in the morning, grab some beers, and we would just. Nope, it wasn't. What was it called? Burger. After those beans, Rich is the goat, Mitch is a baby. It's a fact. I will say this though, and anybody that has ever eaten one of those jelly beans, I mean, Brett handled them like a champ. You were incredible. That last one was bad.
The last one was bad.
I think you got to have kids.
What? You gotta once you have kids, you're just not a baby anymore?
He's cleaned up so much shit. This doesn't faze him. How many blowouts did Mitch have?
Quite a few.
I feel like I was a good kid.
Amazing.
Did he ever just like shit or piss just everywhere? Like it was just a shit show.
Probably.
I came out peeing.
Yes, that you did. I have that on video.
In fact,
I do have
we
that
have
on.
we have a VHS tape. I'm literally coming out,
I have it on tape.
and I'm just pissing all over the doctor. My mom still has the umbilical cord. That's crazy.
Yes.
It looks like an ashtray. All right, y'all, we are 3 bangs away from a Chugs versus Cullen boot race. And if it doesn't happen, it's all good. Believe me when I tell you this. If you have banged multiple times on this show, 2 times, if you're showing love to me on my birthday when my dad's here, you're going home with a Raiders Report hat. I want to be able to hook. You need one?
That Raiders Report hat is sweet.
You want one?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you bang twice today?
I think twice about 32 years ago.
That's true. And one for good luck. What up, Rubik? Would you bring back Mack or Cooper on a team-friendly contract? If I had to pick between Khalil Mack or Amari Cooper, it's Khalil Mack, and I'm not kidding you, it's not close. I have no interest in Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper quit on the Raiders many, many years ago. And Amari, to me, like, where do you rank Amari Cooper in terms of NFL receivers? Because he's not up there with Khalil Mack in terms of NFL receivers. And I know Amari got a little bit banged up, but I'm going to invest in the defensive line. I'm going to invest in going out and getting after that quarterback. Because team-friendly deal for Khalil is probably $18 million a year. A team-friendly deal for Amari Cooper is probably $8 million. And I know it's more money, but we have the money to spend, and I would rather spend 18 on Khalil than 8 for Amari Cooper, whatever it might be. My fiance, Alex, hey honey, Feliz Cumpleaños. I can never say it. Cumpleaños. Though she always plays this song, her family does. I actually don't know the name of it, but it's the happy birthday song in Spanish, I guess. Honey, I don't know if you're still watching. No, it's not that one. She played it, 32 times today. Not quite. Oh, my goodness. You and Colin got to do a boot. If you guys want to see a boot race between Cullen and Chugs, spam boot down below, because I'll tell you this. We got a new MVP on today's show. All right. What's like one of your favorite random stories that you got about me? Or is there anything that you think would be funny to tell the nation? Random kid story about me. Something that, it's a tough one. It's very generic. Very generic. An embarrassing story that you can remember off the top of your head. What about...
Should have gave me more time to think about that.
How about this? How about this? I'm going to tell everybody what just happened. After that, you tell everybody of when you and I... Would you want to tell if we had a fight one time?
Oh, yeah. That was ugly.
That was an ugly fight.
Yeah.
You down to tell that story?
That's up to you.
I'm fine with it. We're good now.
Yep.
I mean, now I'd kick. Now I got you. Now I got you. You're too old now. You know it deep down.
Right. Okay.
You're in trouble now. But so in high school, my dad and I fought. I mean, we
About
did.
Going to college.
Yeah. If you guys want to hear that story, stay tuned, because I think it's one of those things where, you know, when you love people, you're gonna butt heads, right? Like that's life. But my dad and I, we had an interesting one. And it's a good story. I'm not gonna lie. It's funny now to look back on it. Excuse me. Which, if I was in your shoes, I would have done the exact same thing. Like, I would have. I'm not. I was in the wrong. I know I was in the wrong now. And it's kind of funny, like when you grow up, like the older and older you get, like the way I talk to Chuck, I think it's very similar to the way you would talk to me. Where like I don't beat Chuck. I spank him on the butt from time to time. But like when I yell at Chuck, dude, he knows. Actually, I was talking about Roger Braun Bang! Coming up, boot race. Jeremy Chugs, Cullen. It's about to go down. The throat goats to settle it once and for all. And here's the thing. About 3 hours ago, I poured up 2 boots for Cullen and for Jeremy. Both happy dads, both the exact same flavors, and the exact same boot. This is going to be a race for the ages. Now, I know Cullen is live actually on another show right now, so I got to go steal him. It's going to be, I will say this, the Cullen and Jeremy boot race is probably going to be about 2 to 5 minutes long. I don't know how long it's going to be. But because Cullen is live on another show, Roger Braun, if you don't spam RB down below, then you better get the F out of here right now, man. Shout out to him. Who you got, Chugs or Cullen? Let me know. The last time this race happened, I believe Cullen won. Chugs didn't bring his A game that day. Chugs Cullen boot race. Big luck. You tried to fight Chuck and ended up in the hospital. I didn't try to fight him. Chuck and I, though, I have like a little spot on my roof where it's not a lot of space, but it's enough of space for Chuck and I to kind of like play on the roof a little bit. Then he would be bad all the time. Chuck loves the roof. And he has this like big ball. It's like called a chuck it ball. It's orange. And I would throw it against the wall and I would catch it. So with Chuck and I, honestly, this is how I hurt my eye. Chuck and I would throw the ball against the wall and like he jumps for it. And he's a very athletic dog. And he's 75 pounds. Like he's a big dog. So when I go up and grab the ball and I would like try to steal it away. Basically like think of when you high point a football in the back of the end zone, you're going to go up and get the ball and try to secure it. That's what I tried to do. I tried to throw it off the wall, and when I went to go here, Chuck went for the ball. He got the ball with his mouth, but just absolutely stuck me.
Uh-oh.
Cullen.
Cullen.
Cullen. Cullen. Cullen. Cullen. So the nation is called. I poured up 2 boots. Also, Roger Braun was the one that sent it in. He wants to see the boot race happen. The exact same flavors of Happy Dad. I'd be lying to tell you I even remember. It was out of the fruit. It was whatever the fruit punch. I guess they're all fruit punch. All right, so they're all fruit punch. Same boot. Same glass. To settle who is the official throat goat. And after this boot race, my dad and I, if you take advantage of the deal, have a boot race. $50 alley-oop. How about this? If somebody bangs right now, shirtless. Shirtless no matter what. Are you going to do a shirtless boot?
No.
Dude. A shirt, you got it, Lee. We're going to shirtless boot race.
No.
Shirtless boot race.
It has to be in the next minute, though. Cullen's got it.
Oh!
Oh, we were all.
Yoda Jenkins! Bang! Here we go! There's only one way to settle. I actually didn't know you had. What's that?
Yeah, that's
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for that. There's only one way to settle this boot race, and it's to do it shirtless. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of nipple movement going over there. I mean, quite frankly, you two have the exact same body structure and hair.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This is interesting.
Chest bro going all the way down.
All right, here we go. Who you got, Cullen or Chugs?
Allie, look away. This is too much man.
Allie just said 100. She'll do it shirtless.
No. No. 100,000.
$100,000 Venmo, and Allie will do it shirtless. All right, she said no.
She said $1 million.
$1 million Venmo, and she'll do it shirtless.
Chugs, take your shirt off.
All right, here we go. 5,
Good luck, gentlemen.
4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. To settle the throat goat. Come on. Dude. Wow. I actually think
we
it was
got
a
to go
tie.
back to the photo finish on that one.
Dude, I'm not even kidding you. I actually think that was a tie.
That was as close to a photo finish as you're going to get.
See, moisture, also moisture. Dude, I'm not going to lie. I think that was a tie. Miguel said Chugs by a millisecond.
I'll give you that one. Dude, it's weird. I'm looking into our boss James' office, and he has us. So I'm literally looking at me right now. I do me.
Who won?
That was as close as you're going to get.
Who won? Dude.
Gentlemen, that was awesome. I'm telling you, man. Mine.
So when you try, you're going to see how incredibly amazing that is.
I already know because I tried at home. That is a feat.
That's that's
true.
That is a feat, man. Honest to God, I can't believe you guys can do that. Never mind, do it. Do it in the quickest you can. I didn't want nobody to hear that.
Why? I mean, that was absolutely deleted.
Those gentlemen are sick.
my wife's a lucky one.
Video under review by Rebel Montana. Rebel Montana is reviewing the play. Let me know who you think won, Cullen or Chugs. Let me know down below. Rebel, if I can be of any of assistance, if I had to admit, I think Cullen spilled a little bit more than Chugs did. And I'm just being honest. What's great, though, is we have actually found Chugs a competitor. I mean, if you would have told me a few years ago that we'd be able to find somebody that compete with Chugs, I would have said, I don't believe you. I would have said there's no chance that we could find someone. Dude, Cullen's right there, man. So I would say this. Out of the 36 ounces that was just consumed by Chugs and Cullen, I'm going to say Chugs probably had 35.8 of the ounces. I'm going to say Cullen was probably at 35.5. Based on the amount of liquid I saw dripping down the chest hair. And both of them had plenty of chest hair. Though, you got everyone beat. You have all the chest hair. Which
Easy.
I actually don't know how. I don't really have any.
I'm amazed myself.
I don't really have any. He's a bear. If somebody hits a gong, shirtless boot.
No.
Dude.
It's not happening.
What do you mean?
It's not happening.
I believe in you.
I believe in myself too, but it ain't happening.
Oh, come on. What's the number?
There isn't a number.
There's always a number.
Yoda.
There's always a number. Yoda just said take it off. Yoda, man, you're an absolute legend, dude. You are an absolute legend. So here's the next one. We need 2 alley-oops for me and my dad to do a boot race. 2 alley-oops for my dad and I to do a boot race. All I need you to do is just try. And if you can't do it, don't do it. I want you to try it. It's just water. Mine's beer. So for those that don't know, here's my dad's water. This one I poured up earlier.
Let me smell that.
You can smell it. It's 100% water. I wouldn't make you do anything otherwise. Can you confirm that it's water?
It just smells like water, and there is no smell.
Well, I mean, after your taste buds, I'm worried. It's just water, I promise. It is just water. I had to at least try to beat you in a boot race. I had to try. He's a little bit nervous about it, which I'm not going to lie. He should be nervous. Brett's done a boot.
Yeah, I did. I seen that.
Brett's done a boot.
I seen that, Brett.
Multiple boots.
No,
He's got 3 kids.
I know. I like him a lot.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Oh, dude. Raider Marty says you got to get some beer. Is it filtered or non-filtered? His water is filtered. I promise you this. If there's one thing that I know about my dad, I would never give him non-filtered water. This is a man that spends way too much money on bottled water.
Way too much.
Now, again, where I live in Central PA, you can't drink tap water. You can't do it. Like,
Favorite
legitimately,
bottled
you can't drink the tap
Aquafina.
water.
Aquafina's your top bottled water?
Don't drink nothing else.
Oh, that's my bottom.
Really?
Oh, I hate it.
Up
I go
home.
Ozarka, which is like spring water. Like, it's Texas's spring water. I go Ozarka. I'm a big Core guy. I love Core. Smart water.
Smart's
Fiji.
good. Smart's good.
Here's the problem. A lot of the water you just mentioned, it's not available where we live.
Smart water is.
Core?
Nope.
We live in the middle of like, you're getting the water choices where I live. How much? But smart water, you're paying an
Right,
arm and a
yeah.
leg. Aquafina, Deer Park, Dasani. Those are your three choices.
I like Dasani too.
No, you don't.
I'll drink it.
I'm just saying. I'm telling you this. The water choices in Danville, Pennsylvania. This might shock you. Not great. Not great.
Alcoholic.
You know what is great? Yoda Jenkins! Who's going to do it? You know who did it? Naaman Bang! Which means one more alley-oop. No, the jelly beans are done. I'm not kidding you. You not reacting to the jelly beans,
I had all good ones. Except one.
I actually don't know if you did.
Well, the last one I had, whatever that was foul.
That was awful.
I also skipped this one on accident.
Cassidy, I'm on the train heading to school. Happy birthday. Cassidy, thank you very much. I hope you learned something today. I really do. All right, how about this? Since how do you do with spice?
I'm good.
Are you down to try a spicy jelly bean? Here's jalapeno. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hot is that?
Holding it in my hand?
No, you got to eat it.
Aye.
If you don't want it spicy, then don't do it.
Oh, you did.
He did it. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how spicy is that jelly bean? So Chugs and I always do spicy jelly beans all the time. They're pretty hot, aren't they? That one he feels. And I think these jelly beans are very accurate to what a jalapeno jelly, like jalapeno would taste like, in all honesty.
You okay?
On a scale of 1 to 10, if you got to spit in there.
6.
1 out of 10? There's 3 that are spicier.
Wow, really?
There is, so on the hotness level, there is sriracha. There is jalapeno. Then there is cayenne, mango habanero, Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, well,
If you're saying that's a 6 out of 10, which I think is a good number, the next one's probably for you an 8. Mango habanero's hot.
Not really real NFL news, but you want to see something crazy?
What?
Have you seen the new picture of Patrick Mahomes?
No. The new Mahomes picture?
He got a haircut.
He did.
Read Chase's caption.
I mean, it's kind of funny because I thought the exact same thing. I feel like usually, like, when you see a girl change her hair, get bangs, color hair, it's like you're going through something. Patrick Mahomes, after that Super Bowl, was like, I need a new haircut.
He did?
He did. That's an identity crisis. That's actually hilarious.
yeah, let me see it.
Jacob, Mitch, did your pops ever catch you doing drugs? How many parties did you throw without him knowing? Are there any stories? I'll be honest, and I'm kind of a boring kid.
That's an understatement.
I didn't throw any parties.
None.
Like, legitimately, I actually think I was a pretty good kid.
I worked in New York for 6 months.
A lot of people don't believe me, but when I was in high school, I lived by myself for a period of time.
On week. During the week.
During the week.
Shout out to Danny. She's in the chat. She's wishing you a happy birthday.
Danny, thank you very much.
That's her right now.
A flat tire. Jesus. That's brutal. Danny's on the side of the road with a flat tire.
Oh, Dan.
Brutal.
Chugs talks about you all the time, Danny.
Big facts.
All good things.
Big facts. That's wild. Do you remember the day after prom? So I knew I was going to get in trouble because I drank at prom. What did I do at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning?
I don't remember.
I was cutting grass
Where?
at the house near the river. So the day after prom, I woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning because I knew Aunt Sandra was going to get mad at me, and I knew she was going to tell you. So I showed up and I started cutting grass at 9 a.m., day after prom. And you walked out and you're like, what the hell are you doing here? And I said, let me finish cutting the grass, and I'll come in and talk to you. You don't remember that?
Yeah. No, I do remember that.
I mean, in all honesty, dude, like, in a small town, I actually think it's really hard to do a lot of the crazy stuff because everybody kind of knows everybody. But I think my dad and I have such a good relationship now because I would tell you when I would do almost anything.
Yes, that's for sure.
But that was like the rule. Like, let me know what you're doing. That way, if anything bad happens, you can kind of figure out the situation from there on out. I'm not kidding. I never did drugs. I drank, like, growing up. I mean, like, Nick Levan and I, we started drinking pretty early. I'm not going to lie, but it's because we watched the movie Beer League or Beer Fest, whatever the hell it was. Yeah, wild stuff, man. Venthrak! Happy National Handcuff Day, nation. Yes, it's a real thing.
What's that?
Today's National Handcuff Day. I don't even know what that means. Now, man, those beans don't bother me. If you don't tell me what it's supposed to taste like, I guess my mind won't grasp it. Which maybe that's the case. Like, for me, I know what they are now, and I can taste it. Nobody can beat me. Now we know why you've been married for so long. Patrick! Whoever throws it down!
No, that was for Navman.
Was it?
Yeah, Navman sent in the 50.
Oh, yeah, it was. Bang! I didn't realize there was two of them. See, this is what happens. I get off track sometimes. Bedrak throws one down. All right. You ready?
For what?
Boot race.
Ah.
Boot race. Come on. You got it. Come on. All right, so here's the name of the game. You stand right there. You stand right there. Yours is water, okay? If you can't do it, I don't want you to get sick. Don't ruin tonight. It's a lot of liquid.
Yep.
When it gets close, when you drink it, you're going to get hit with a bubble. So don't try to do too much near the bubble.
There's not enough of time on your program for me to drink it.
So loser buys dinner tonight.
Okay. I planned on buying
I
anyway.
will be switching the reservation to chili.
Ooh. Applebee's it is. 2 for $20. Boot race. All right, I'm actually excited that you're about to do this. The next trivia question after this is, how many fingers is my dad holding up? How many are you holding up? not 5. You ready?
Yep.
How about this? After this boot, you tell everybody why you only have 9.5 fingers. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. How much to do it shirtless?
Not. No number.
No number. All right. Hey, I mean this. We do a lot of crazy stuff. To the 500 people that are watching the show right now, the fact that we haven't really talked any Raiders and you guys are just hanging out with me on my birthday with my dad, it means a lot to me, right? I mean, he was excited to pull up today. He did not know he was going to get himself into a boot.
No.
And I still don't think he's excited about it. You ready?
Ready.
Okay. As soon as I get done, you can be done.
Okay.
You ready? Ventrac, the entire nation. Somebody please clip this. This is going to be legendary. Here we go. When you start, I start.
3, 2, 1. I don't know how you guys do that. I don't know how you do that.
I'll tell you what. You probably got down half.
Yep.
All right. Hang on, I got to burp. Sorry, I'm off screen. No to Najee. What about Najee at $6 million?
No.
Najee's a little bit slow first step. If you have a great offensive line, Najee can be decent. And Najee can be a good running back. If you don't have a good offensive line, though, Najee Harris makes absolutely no sense. If I'm the Raiders and I want to sign Najee Harris, I am going out, I'm getting the best offensive line I possibly can. I don't even wait until the draft. I'm making sure I get my offensive line in free agency because you're just wasting everybody's time and money unless you do it. So now that you just did that, do you think even what they do is even crazier?
Oh, that's incredible. I honestly.
It's insane, dude.
More impressive, what I do at the computer or what I do with the boot?
With the boot. That is impressive.
I don't know about that. Alan
Well,
Cruz,
again,
well,
what he
wait.
does there is impressive, but that boot, man, under 8 seconds.
Chugs, I got to leave in 13 minutes. 13 minutes, this show's over.
I honestly didn't even realize it was already.
I kind of lost track of time. We have a dinner reservation I can't be late for. Can you show him the final step here?
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
Alan, I'll get to you here in just a moment. The final step is this. I'm turning 32 today.
You are 32.
I am
have turned
32.
32.
We're 320 away from me getting a cake in the face. Or if somebody hits the gong. Either 320 away or if somebody hits the gong, I'm getting caked in the face. It's a little bit wild. Rebel says, does Marsh want his spot? I don't think Marsh is down to do a boot. Guys, I'm not and here's anybody that's ever tried to tackle a boot.
I did find Marsh's
It kind of screws you up for a little bit.
I did find Marsh's doppelganger.
See, I don't really know if it's close.
Dude.
It's close, dude, but it's not exact. Big luck, 320 and a duck race left. Correct. Yeah, there is still a duck race, which, you know what? How about this, Chugs? If you want to get in the duck race, it is a $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365 for a chance to get in.
You've seen Marshall before, right?
Yeah.
Does that not look just like him?
Oh, God.
Wow, it is.
Right?
Great.
Kinda.
resemblance.
That guy looks just like him.
Look at this. Speak of the devil.
Jason Goots
He's been on my nuts about this.
in.
Dude, he looks just like you. I don't think he does.
Does he? I think you're just saying that because he's a
No,
little-
Jason, you were already in.
He's a
I
little
can't
heavier
count.
than you.
Darth, I'm going to get you in.
I don't know. What does Rebel think?
What is the rebel?
Ron Raspberry, you in.
He doesn't have nearly the peak that I have. That's true. This is a valley. I think his hairline is receding.
How much for a boot?
Well, he's on Nick's later. So.
Yeah, I got a whole live show
Oh.
and 4 hours of game, but I could do back-to-back Murbongas. One Murbonga. Fucking
All right, how about this?
go home, Rebel.
How much for you to do a Bert? A
We're
Bert.
at
A boot.
1.3. If we get to 1.5, by the time that clock says 3 hours, 10 minutes.
That actually lines up.
I say I got to leave here by 5 o'clock.
Man, you better
Cool.
get.
All right.
So this chat has 9 minutes and 30 seconds to get to 1.5.
So $200 in.
So basically, we need, if we get to 3:20, I'm getting caked and Marsha's doing a boot.
Yeah.
You in?
Yeah.
All right.
we're in.
Let's do it. We're 3:20 away. 3:20 away. Alan Cruz. Mitch, sorry for not tuning in regular, my guy. Alan,
Marsh, get it
you
back.
watch this show all the time.
Yeah.
You watch this show all the time.
No.
Please do not ever apologize. And I mean that. And I get people who are busy. I'm a busy dude too, man. And I mean this. I am a busy dude too. I really am. Nabman, you dare try me on a boot, Mitch. Next we roll. I got $1,000 that says this old man can smash you by 10 seconds.
Wow.
Nabman, you're telling me you can beat me in a boot race.
By 10 seconds.
10 seconds?
God Family and Raiders has a question.
Happiest of birthdays to you. I asked Papa Renz to give you a 10-second dad hug and have Chugs take a picture, a blessed memory to have printed and framed for your home. Yikes. How about this?
Careful.
Here, you're good. Let's get a pic.
How about this? Just go on live and look at the camera.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
all
take a
good.
screenshot. 10 seconds.
Wait, first,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hug tighter. 9, 10.
love this guy, man. Love him. You're all right.
And I mean, I think a lot of people are showing love today because, and I mean this, and I know a lot of people know, like my dad's my guy. He's been on the show a bunch before, and it's always cool. And like, I know you guys get to know me, and doing this is kind of a weird job to do. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. You already know that. And, moving down here is tough. Moving away from my family's tough. And, seeing the company grow, seeing the Raiders Report grow, it's been an amazing thing. Ryan Campbell, I saw what you did. That's why I baited Marsh into the boot. So I'll tell you this right now. Nobody needs to spend any more money on this show. Ryan Campbell is – he's got y'all covered, okay? Ryan, if just send me your shipping address. I probably already have it. I'm going to send you some Raiders Report hats, though, just so you know. Ryan, what Ryan just did is crazy, guys, and I'm just telling you that right now. It's absolutely, positively insane. Also, Jack just started the Red Sox channel, our first baseball channel, really.
Nice. Red Sox.
Dude,
That's Amy's team.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Big Red Sox fan.
Really?
The Yaz.
The what?
Yaz. You don't know who Yaz is? Then get away from me.
Oh, okay. I didn't know the nickname.
Honestly, man, I'm a Met fan, but the Yaz was everything when I was a kid, man.
Darth said I was
Triple
mugged.
Crown winner.
You want to hear a joke by Darth Fatass? I was mugged by 6 dwarves. Not happy.
There's 7 of them, though.
There you go. Hashtag dad jokes. Happy birthday, Mitch. I don't know where Marsh is, but.
He's right there.
Where?
I just seen him.
Hey, Chugs. Oh, he's on the phone. Can you go grab Marsh? We got to go get Marsh because Ryan
Oh, my God.
Campbell. Bang! Ryan, I don't actually have the gong is somewhere else. I am sorry that I can't rip that gong for you. I can try to see if somebody can bring it in. A lot of construction being done. Chugs, can you get the gong? Gong? I don't know where it is. Not gonna lie. We keep on moving around. Can everybody spam Ryan Campbell down below? They got him. They got him. My dad's gonna hit the gong. Dude, he's letting you use his pimp cup.
Yeah.
The pimp cup. How much to do it shirtless?
Red Bull, go home right now. Red Bull, go home right now. Red Bull, go home right now.
Shout out to Ryan Campbell. I got Nabman, Willie, Michael Smoot, Rebel Montana, all spamming those RCs down below. Come on, man. Deleted. Absolutely deleted. Come on.
You would have thrown up right there.
Come on, man.
I think there's soap in here. Dial.
Ryan Campbell. Here, wait. Here. You hold this. I got it. Ready? Now go. Oh, it's had some rough days. Ryan Campbell! Come on, man! Mr. Campbell! Yeah, dude. Ryan freaking Campbell, man. What an absolute legend. Ah, dude, that's freaking amazing.
2 more supers and then we're going to sign off.
That is flipping amazing. So here's what's going to happen. We got to do a duck race. We got to do a duck race. And I got to get caked in the face.
Nice.
So here's what we're going to do. We got to go through the supers. Final chance to get in at Mitchell Renz 365. And I am already going to go over my time at 5 o'clock. Alex is going to kick my ass. I'm already telling you that right now. So we're going to go through these. We're going to get into the duck race, and we're going to get kicked in the face. Ryan, you're an absolute legend, dude. I technically already said that one. I was mugged by 6 dwarves. Not happy. You get it? I think he gets it. Rebel, Marsh, did the Knicks beat the Lakers yet? I'll tell you what, the Knicks, I haven't watched any basketball recently. I don't even know how they're doing.
Horrible. Can't even watch it.
What, basketball?
Yeah, the pros can't watch it.
Oh, the pros are, it is almost unwatchable. It is almost unwatchable. Ali, Marie Perez in. Tyler Dooling, you in. $20 Venmo to win $400. 20 to win, 400. This is going to be iconic, dude. This is going to be absolutely, positively insane. Aggressive Mitch, happy birthday. Thank you guys so much. My wife and I just welcomed the newest Raiderette to the nation this week. Your boy is a girl dad. From the bottom of my heart, dude, congratulations to you. I'm surprised considering your name. I'm not going to lie. But, I mean, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
The greatest.
The greatest gift of all time. That's what my dad just said. So I actually think I'm going to be a better girl dad than I am boy dad. We'll see. Real cowboy. Way to bang, Papa Renz. Way to bang, Papa Renz. Blaine Craig. It's a legendary picture right there, Blaine Craig. It's a legendary picture. All right, y'all. I'm going to send the list of names to Jeremy right now. And then we are going to do this duck race. The winner of this race is about to go home with $400.
Nice.
$400 to the winner. I will tell you this. I am in the race right now, okay? I'm in the race. If I win, it's my birthday. It's the only day of the year that I will take the money because I paid to win. If my dad wins, he wins. So I don't want to hear any complaining. And if anybody's going to complain about a duck race, that just tells me that you haven't watched this show for a very long time. Because it's totally random, man. It's totally random. Did I add you? I actually don't know if I added you. All right, put yourself in. I got you. I'll cover. Chugs is also in the duck race. Though if you win, I get half.
I've never won. So
Winner's going to go home. You know, let's just make it 420. Let's make it 420. Oh, you got another one in you. Because Rebel finally decided to show.
Since Rebel showed up, I'm showing out. Let's go.
did you answer his question?
Rebel is the man.
When's the last time the Knicks beat the Lakers?
Last year.
I have no idea. Don't look at me. I only covered the Lakers for the NBA trade deadline. I couldn't tell you another player on the Lakers right now not named Luka or LeBron.
Rebel Montaigne.
Who's the guy from the Mavericks? Wow, that's impressive. I don't know how you
Open
guys-
that throat, Mitch.
Oh,
Great job.
I don't know if it's a great job.
It's actually our job.
Great job.
Yep. Like, you when you... What do you do?
Nothing.
Water lines.
Yeah.
Yep. If you guys have ever had water, my dad's probably responsible.
No.
No? I don't know how it works, quite frankly. All right, Chuggy Bull. Duck race time. Can you add a few more names for me? Can you add Michael Smoot? And can you add Patrick Roche? Roche. All right, winner of this race is going to go home with $430. $430 to the winner. You ready? You going to watch it? 3. You're good. Come on. 2, 1. Let's get it going. All right, so the winner of this race is going home with $430. Right now, Fluhy's got an early lead.
Ooh, yeah.
So you got a duck in this race.
Yes, I do. Amy does.
Amy does. Elijah Johnson down there at the bottom. Darth Fatass, interesting spot. Roger Braun, Steven Huerta. I'm not going to lie. I'm rooting for Ryan Campbell.
Yes. 500.
Yep. I'm rooting for Ryan Campbell. Mo Chavez up there. Joel Rios. Though usually when these duck races happen, you don't want to be in the lead right now.
Right.
Like, now's not a good time to be in the lead. You go that way a little bit. Nope. Oh, you got to actually come closer to me. A little bit. There we go. All right. 13 seconds left. Who's going to get the win? Right now, oh, man, who's that? Goots. Brian Baca.
Somebody's coming in the back.
Watch out for Baca. Brian. Baca.
Congratulations, Brian.
You know what's cool about that? Number 24.
Nice. 24.
That's my dad's number. Number 24. Willie Mays.
Willie Mays.
Center fielder.
The Willie Mays.
The Willie Mays. Brian. I have no idea. Hey, Brian, can you please confirm down below that you just received $430 here on the Raiders Report? Brian, I hope you're still watching, man. I really, really hope you're still watching, man. Brian Baca.
Congratulations, Brian.
Seriously, dude, that's sick, man. That's freaking awesome. Somebody said he's here. Is he here? Mr. Baca. Baca said, hell yeah. All right, Brian, did you get it, though? I just need you to confirm and just say, I got it. I want people to know that you got it. Congrats to Brian. Yes, sir. Brian Baca. $430. Okay. So the final thing we got to do.
That slice, that's it?
Well, everybody else ate the cake.
Oh.
So we saved some cake.
Okay.
So here's the cake we have. This is all we have. I need you to be careful because it can't get on the carpet.
What?
Can't get on the carpet.
So smooth, you can like kind of rub it like a smooth, a sensual cake. Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, he's barehanded.
I feel like it was all icing. I feel like it was all icing.
Any last birthday word for today?
Honestly, thank you for being a good sport today. I know it was a little weird for you.
Look, hey, 32 years ago, you came from that.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a ballsy move.
It was.
Really, and I mean this, y'all. When you guys pull up for these type of crazy shows, these kind of mean the most to me. Really greatly appreciate Ryan Campbell, all the legends today. If you banged more than twice, please, 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 Venmo, like, chat me. That way I can send you a hat. I almost wonder if I got to go to dinner like this. Alex probably won't mind. What are you doing? Oh, yeah. James, if you're watching, don't look at the carpet in here. I had a great birthday. Thank you seriously to everybody that showed up. Nabman, Rebel, that should be the best B-Day ever. Where's Rebels? I can't see his. My computer. That might be a game I might go live for Lakers. Be kind of fun, I'm not going to lie. Lakers-Knicks, watch party battle. I could probably convince somebody. All right, y'all, I got to get out of here. We're running a little bit late. I got dinner reservations in an hour and a half, and obviously I got a shower. So, you got anything you want to say?
Nation, I cannot thank you enough for supporting Chugs, supporting my main man, Mitch. Love you. See you again real soon. Thank you.
I think that's a good way to end it. Peace out, y'all. Appreciate you.